planes. I know a lot about planes.
Buckle in, dude. It's gonna suck.
Put your hand on the screen.
How did they find out? Who was the one?
This show has gotten infinitely more gay.
The mystical land of New Jersey.
I don't understand how the laws in this country work anymore.
Welcome to the Rebel Radio Show, live, uncut, and uncensored on WSRR Radio. We're saving the underground music scene. To my right, Shaney.
Hey, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Howdy.
I'm radio's Rebel DJ style, and we're working on an affiliate deal. And
Yeah.
we haven't actually reached out yet, but we think being proactive is probably the better way to go about it.
We'll lock it in soon. But
Yeah.
right now we're doing it.
Yeah, so if you find yourself smoking a Newport,
Yeah.
take a selfie and send it to us, and we're going to send it to them.
216-859-8699 is the number you should text it to.
Yeah, and the idea is that every time a Newport is smoked, courtesy of WSRR, we're going to get a little kickback to help the station stay on air.
Dude, we could get our own special edition Newports.
Oh,
That'd be
dude.
so awesome.
It's like the battle pass.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Fucking Rebel Radio Show Newports.
In the battle pass.
Oh.
They
taste like menthol and nacho cheese.
Dude, I want a cigarette. I would buy a cigarette battle pass.
Hey, you want a Newport? I'll take a picture of you.
Oh, dude, as long as we're getting kickback.
Hey, do you want one martini?
That might be too much.
Well, if you ask Justin Timberlake, it might be.
Yeah.
I was so out of the loop on this. Like, I had heard Justin Timberlake got arrested or put in the county jail over the weekend or whatever the hell it was, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's not really big news. I guess I
Right.
was wrong because it is.
Yeah, everybody's kind
I-
of talking about it.
Well, I also didn't realize he was in the middle of a world tour. I
It's
Yeah.
don't.
going to ruin the tour.
I don't have my finger on the pulse of Justin Timberlake. Apparently,
Neither do I. Not since his NSYNC days.
no.
Yeah. Hit me, baby, one more time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
That's them, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, moving on. Yeah, he got a DWI, which I don't know what the difference is between a DWI and a DUI. I get
They've
them. I get them
gone
both.
away.
They just changed it.
Yeah, I get
They've
them.
gone away from DUI,
Oh.
and it's now DWI.
I was gonna say I get
And
them
then
both all the time, and
the
it's kind of just.
It's getting real tough to figure out which
Yeah,
one I
I
have to
never
pay
know.
to which state.
when,
I was asking him like, Oliver.
when you're under the influence of a drug, it's a different 3 letters. It's no longer like the same category.
SCP.
You do not recognize the bodies in the water.
No.
Driving while intoxicated and driving under the influence, right?
Yes, I would
Yeah.
assume that
So
makes sense.
DUI is just alcohol? Or
Well, you can-
DWI is
I
just
think
alcohol?
you
I
would
think
be
they're just
considered-
interchangeable.
Yeah, you would still be considered intoxicated if you were like high.
Well, it's like, hi, how are you? A UFO is not a UFO anymore, right? It's a UAP.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
So I
times
thi-
have changed.
I don't know what the fuck kind of world
They
we're living in.
morphed. One day they were just flying through the sky and they morphed into
You want to talk about
UAP.
Mandela effects? Goddamn, dude, I remember UFOs and DUIs. What the hell happened to this country? It used to be a proper nation. Our pets' heads are falling off.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Anyway, Justin Timberlake got a
Yeah.
DWI.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake's out here drinking and driving. And the bartender supposedly from it was the American Hotel where he was drinking at beforehand, said that he only had 1 martini. So
Which
this guy's kind of a lightweight for sure.
that wasn't the issue. That was never the issue of how much he drank.
Right.
No one was like,
Right. I think that is kind of my over. Oh, and that was the other big thing too. So, actually, there's 2 other big. It's just a really interesting. I think the reason why people are still talking about it is because there are a lot of layers to it, much like an ogre, or some might say an onion.
more on that later.
Yeah. But so the cop didn't know who he was when arresting him,
Yep.
which is a crazy oversight.
Yeah.
Everybody on TikTok is waiting for that body cam footage.
Right. And then so under his breath, Justin Timberlake, which I can only assume he's saying this sort of thing to like save face, try to get himself out of this ticket.
Right.
Under his breath, he goes, "This is gonna ruin the tour," which is such like a comedy bit. That's comedy gold right there. That you would think of that fast, and
Yeah.
then you're in that position where you can try to pull leverage on a cop, and this is gonna ruin the tour. Ugh. What a preppy fucking okay asshole.
This Saturday night, Jimmy Fallon will be doing that on SNL.
Right.
Everybody has also brought this into their bit as like life, and every time they go to like the gynecologist, they'll post a video and they're like, "This is gonna ruin the tour."
So people are
Or,
just
like,
memeing this
yes.
now. This is a meme
It's
now.
a big meme.
But so the cop's like, "Well, what tour?" And JT's like, "The world tour."
Which is a valid question if you don't know what tour.
Right. But still, like that whole back and forth is like something that would be in an SNL skit, or like you would watch that in a comedy skit or something like that.
I'm only mad that Justin Timberlake is the reason that this happened. I wish there was just some random body cam footage of some random drunk dude that went viral, and his response was, "This is gonna ruin the tour."
What tour are you talking about, to the
would
officer?
make
What
it so much
tour are you
better.
talking about?
The
World tour? Buddy.
Buddy, look around. I am Motley Crue.
But, like, yeah, I think, no, you're right. It is the problem that he's drunk. Like, he's rich enough, he's famous enough where someone can give him a ride, or he
Oh,
could
yeah.
pay for an Uber, or
He
could
has
do
to have like a
something.
bodyguard or something out with him at the bar,
Right,
right?
right.
He's
So, like,
on a world tour.
either
The
way,
fuck?
he has the money to do something about getting home.
Right.
It shouldn't be an issue to him to get home without driving a vehicle intoxicated.
The businesses on the road that he got arrested on
Mhm.
released their CCTV footage,
Mhm.
and it honestly didn't look like he was doing anything out of the norm. He may have been like swerving a little bit,
Right.
but
And then I wonder why the
I mean,
cop,
he
like-
was driving while
but
intoxicated.
he was intoxicated.
But,
so.
like, I wonder how the cop was, like, signed off to know, like, oh, this guy's a little drunk, I'm going to pull him. Like, I wonder what made the cop pull him
That's
over.
what I
You
really
know what
want
I
to
mean?
know. Like, what was that point
If-
where you were like,
Right.
he's drunk, pulling
if,
him over?
If the CCTV footage doesn't look that bad, I wonder what pulled the cop off to be
In
like...
my opinion, it doesn't look that
Right,
bad.
sure.
So
Which I want to know too. So like clearly someone, whoever, I don't know if this is the original article, but this is also because you pulled this up, but this is also the article I was looking at from page 6. I don't know if they broke the story or not, but someone went to the bar and was like, I'm going to do some research here. I'm going to do some digging. I'm going to get an interview with the bartender and we're going to see how plastered he was. And
Yeah.
I'm sure that was the goal. And they went there, and the guy's like trying to save face for Justin Timberlake. Like, he only had one martini. He wasn't that fucked up. He could drive.
I'm going
Fuck
to...
this guy.
I'm gonna break the fourth wall for a second. For the listeners at
I
home,
wish you wouldn't.
for everyone else in this room with me while we're recording right now, Jordan just has a picture pulled up on his monitor of Angry Shack right now, and I'm not gonna lie, it throws me off. It's throwing me for quite the
Would you
loop
like
right
me
now.
to? Would you like me to close it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think I might. I think I may. That might be my. Don't go into the fucking bartender with another. No, change the picture. Get Shaquille out of here.
I just want to put out on the record. We came in today and put up all our stories on the screen, and one of Jules was just a picture of Shaq.
Yeah, Jules was like, this isn't a story. This is just a funny picture of Shaq, and it was a funny picture
I
of
just wanted
Shaq.
them to see the funny picture of Shaq. It wasn't pertinent to anything that we had to talk
It
about.
is now. Welcome to the radio. I can't get over looking at funny pictures of Shaq.
Yeah.
Anyway, this bartender really tried to save face for Justin Timberlake for no reason and kind of made himself look like more of an ass.
One more thing on Shaq really quick. I just recently found a song by him that he released with Biggie Smalls called You Can't Stop the Rain, REIGN.
Yeah.
Is
And
it good?
It's a banger. And I was like, is this an AI song or something? Because I just found it, and he just released it on his YouTube like 3 days ago. Came out in 1997. What the fuck? Why am I just finding? Why is he just released? So, Justin Timberlake got drunk and then decided to drive.
I
Yeah.
think
This is the last thing on Shaq.
Yeah.
I think the funniest part about the Justin Timberlake thing is that his tour's name is the Forget Tomorrow Tour.
I just think it's funny
He
they
was
gave the guy a
drinking.
pizza. Like, what's a Shaq-a-roni?
Oh my
Like, why is that?
Don't get me started on
You can't-
Shaq soda
You
either.
can't just put Shaq in pepperoni and make it a thing. That's not a thing that existed. It's not a
Justin
play on words. It doesn't sound like pepperoni. You just fucking jammed Shaq's name into pepperoni.
Justin Timberlake's getting shacked right now.
If
He
I
certainly
was
is.
Justin
going-
Timberlake was shacked in a fool.
He
Remember
certainly-
he had that segment, Shacked in a Fool?
He certainly is getting the Shaq end of this stick, huh?
Yeah,
let
he's
me-
getting the shack. He's getting shacked for sure.
If
Yeah.
I was going to Justin Timberlake's world tour at any of the stops, I would be printing out his mugshot on.
I'm sure they're going to sell it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll be like the next stop on the tour will have his mugshot on merch. Because you know he's going to like pay a little bit of a fine and go back on tour.
It's so, like, one of those things where, like, being famous and getting arrested, going in to take that mugshot, you know it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Especially, like maybe 10 years ago and onward,
Mhm.
you know it's going to be like, okay, everyone's going to see this everywhere. And it's going to, because you got to think like, we still look at the mug shots of like Elvis Presley and
Sure.
Frank
Yeah.
Sinatra and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And those are like iconic to us. you know?
Right.
So famous people now, it doesn't matter who they are. If they get a mugshot, they're like, hell yeah, motherfucker. Like, I'm in the same bracket as that, you know?
Which, to that point, I'm gonna fucking go on a limb here and
Mhm.
say that good old JT was a little more plastered than everyone's letting on, because he's not very happy and smiley in his mugshot. He looks very drunk.
No,
and out of it.
he looks drunk and like sorry. He looks
Yeah.
sad or something
Yeah.
like that.
Which, like, a normal person would be for
Right,
a mugshot.
right.
But to your point, you know, if this is just a small thing that he's going to blow off because he's Justin Timberlake, you think he'd be having a little more fun with it, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
This is gonna ruin
This
the
is gonna
tour.
ruin the
It
tour.
ruined the
though.
tour.
This is gonna ruin the tour, and
It's
I wonder
really,
if
it's
it
really
will.
not going to ruin the tour, is it?
Yeah, I wonder if it will, because you're probably right. To your point, he's probably just gonna have to pay a small fine or
Yeah.
something like that.
He'll
and
miss
then-
a couple dates.
Yeah, slap on the wrist.
Well,
move
he
on.
didn't even miss the next one. He went to Chicago.
Well, no, because
Oh,
he doesn't have
bro.
to go to court yet.
That's so
That's fair.
crazy.
He'll,
Yeah,
he'll
no,
miss
he's-
whatever date his aligns with his court. He'll miss that one,
He's fine. That's so insane.
and then he'll come back on the next tour. I didn't know Justin Timberlake was still like, I know he's still a pretty relevant name.
Yeah,
I didn't know
he's-
he was
he's-
still touring.
Famous. I don't know if he's like
You
he's
don't
still
say.
famous. You know, there are some people from NSYNC who he was in the band with the boys.
Was NSYNC just in town? New
don't
Kids
know.
on the Block.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Sorry,
New
it was New
Kids.
Kids on the Block.
Wait, was
They had a
Justin
bunch of
Timberlake
hits.
in NSYNC? Which
Was it
one was he
Backstreet
in?
Boys or NSYNC?
I have no
Shit.
fucking
We
clue.
have so many different things to Google this.
But it's interesting because like Beyonce was in a girl band and then she went solo and now she's a superstar and we don't talk about anyone from Destiny's Child.
But Destiny's Child does have some bangers.
They do. I don't
Yeah.
disagree with that, and it's probably because of Beyonce. But
Well,
like,
Beyonce was lead singer on that most of the time. Anyway.
He was in NSYNC.
it's interesting that the other people from NSYNC aren't nearly as famous, and they may have been. They could have, because I don't think Justin Timberlake was like the main guy.
He was
in
on the
NSYNC.
Disney Club thing, wasn't he?
Listen, I know my buddy's mom had like all her 6 discs in her van were Justin Timberlake.
Hey, that's
So
what's up.
like I had never, because I didn't grow up listening to pop music.
Mhm.
My dad was very much a country and rock guy.
yes, sir.
He still is. I don't know why I said that past tense, but he got into a big pop phase this last year.
yeah, he got really
Loves
big into
Justin
electro
Timberlake now.
now. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Big electro
K-pop.
swing guy. But yeah, no. So like the only
Ska.
exposure I ever had to Justin Timberlake was when I'd get in my buddy's mom's van,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all I would hear, and I wouldn't know who the fuck this guy was,
Mm-hmm.
but they would be jamming out to it.
Hey,
And that was my exposure to Justin Timberlake. And
Ju-
also like
Justin Timberlake's
NSYNC
good.
now,
Mhm.
they just make money off not being Justin Timberlake. Like they've accepted the bit that they're
Yeah.
not Justin Timberlake.
Right. Yeah, because they still do like commercials and
Yeah.
stuff. I feel like they've been in Super Bowl commercials.
Yeah.
And, like you still see them
They
pop
still
up.
tour,
Isn't
don't
there
they?
like a Tide commercial with one of
Maybe.
them?
Yeah. Well, all of them I think are in the Tide
Is it
commercial.
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys or the other one?
It's in sync.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are so many boy bands. It's interesting.
And we're
then-
starting another.
And like, yeah,
Should we disclose that here, or
the Rebel 4,
the other two
the
are
Rebel 6,
The other two are yet to be announced.
the Rebel 6.
There's 6 now.
I
You
just-
didn't let.
I just
Come on.
executive decision.
We talked about this. He can't be in it.
Listen, Grassman goes where the Grassman wants. All right.
Sure. Yeah, just treat the grass man like Shaq. Go ahead. No, he's just as big as Shaq, isn't he?
Listen, now you're Shaqtin' a fool.
All right. Justin Timberlake couldn't get an Uber, by the way. He probably could have.
He probably could have, but
He
Uber,
chose- also,
Uber might
like-
not let him.
Yeah, Uber might not let him because apparently Uber is saying they soon may deny rides to drunk people, which is going to just kill
Uber.
their entire business model.
That's kind of silly, Uber.
And I get the idea.
That is, yeah,
It's like-
that is their entire business model.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of Uber. You're drunk, use Uber.
Yeah, I get the idea of like people don't want people like
Throwing up.
thrown up in their cars.
Right, but still, that's kind of like it's a safety
Yeah,
thing. you
yeah,
know?
but yeah,
It's
that's
a safety concern.
And if you're signing up for Uber, you should know that's part of the deal. Like you're taking that risk when you sign up to drive Uber.
I feel like I use this term a lot, and so I'm sorry if I rehash it again.
Exponential growth.
No,
Oh.
it's a Pandora's box situation of we gave drunk people the ability to drive home safely, and then if Uber were to take that away, it'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It'd probably be a rise in the other.
Lyft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet Lyft would get
and-
really big.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Also,
There could be-
I've used both of them.
Mhm.
Lyft is so much nicer because it's cheaper.
really. I've only ever
Yeah.
used Lyft when someone else like had it downloaded in order
That's
to Lyft.
fair. I only use them because you get like promos when you sign up. And you
Oh.
basically ride for free. 216-859-8699. Let me see a picture of you smoking a Newport or of Shaq.
Your dad didn't leave for cigarettes. He's out in the car, listening to the Rebel Radio Show.
I'd like to come on the horn really quick and say, snick, snick, because I love Wolverine. Ah, get over here, bub.
Do the really bad voice acting from X-Men 97 Wolverine now.
Hey, bub. I'm Wolverine, bub.
Listen, still
I
haven't
might
finished.
be in a relationship with Morph, bub.
Still haven't finished it. Yeah, that's also
So
a
good.
weird subplot
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
going on. I'm only on like episode 6
It's so
still
good, dude.
of
You gotta
X-Men
finish it.
97.
Gotta
But
finish it.
every time I hear fucking Wolverine's voice acting, man, it's just someone like who's a kid's entertainer doing his best Wolverine.
Hey, bub.
I don't know why they did that.
I'm gritty, bub, and I have claws in my they come out of my hands, bub. Sometimes when I'm really angry.
You know what happens when I
Bub.
get, you know what happens when I get really angry? Throw orange paint on things.
Ah, yes. Yes, much like our friends over at Just Stop Oil, who have just stopped over at Stonehenge. So
Listen, I don't know what fucking show you think this is about, but this is not fair, right? That shit's not gonna fly here. You gotta fucking get your fucking act together and you stick to the script.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah, Just Stop Oil, it's called.
Yeah, Just Stop Oil.
It's these funny fellows that like to throw orange paint on things because
So-
environment.
Yeah, they're an
They're
activist
using
group.
something that hurts the environment to hurt things that hurt the environment.
I mean, I think it.
Like-
Yeah.
It's oil-based paint.
Oh. Look at that. Wow.
Like, it's very stupid. Everything about these climate activists is just not thought out.
Yeah,
Here's the
activism's
thing.
gay.
Here's the thing.
No.
We're talking about it, though. We're talking about it.
no, that's
and
the
I
whole
think
point,
that's
right?
the main
Yeah.
point, because it's one of those things where because there is because it's activism. There's just a picture of a guy on fire on your screen, style.
It's Shaq.
Why? Get him off.
It's been there the entire break, Shane.
I don't like it. He's on fire.
Yeah, goddamn right he is.
You're throwing me.
Like orange paint on Stonehenge.
Yeah.
No, if I'm not mistaken, and source trust me, these are the same people that threw orange paint and cake potentially at the Mona Lisa,
Yeah.
and also glued their hands to the floor of the Tesla facility.
We've been talking about they do a lot of like public
Stupid.
activism.
Yeah.
And
Well,
a lot of it's like
activism.
throwing paint on a painting or something
Yeah.
like that. But then usually or like they did something with the Constitution, but then that was covered.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a lot of destruction of property. It's a lot of federal crimes.
Well,
for,
that's the thing. It's not necessarily I don't know if they can get them on destruction of property, and that's why they paint. They use
well, this
paint.
one maybe not. But what's the other thing they just did? They threw paint on something else, right?
They attempted to target Taylor Swift's private jet,
Understandable.
but they just
Yeah.
ended up destroying 2 random jets.
Okay, so that's destruction of property
Yeah.
because you're putting paint on a
Well,
jet.
they were arrested.
Okay. I feel like
for
they
that
get
one.
arrested a lot. I feel like they don't care. It's like you said, it's a lot of just attention getting stuff. It's not actual activism. They're not
Right.
actually helping the cause.
So-
But the plane one at least makes sense because like she uses her plane to go across
Yeah.
the kitchen, so like
Yeah.
that makes sense. It's
Yeah.
an active thing that would be something you would target. If your whole thing is I'm stopping fossil fuels, not Stonehenge. The hell's Stonehenge doing?
No, I agree. It's a more poignant target.
Yeah,
It's a much more poignant target than just fucking some monument or
Yeah.
something
Right.
like that, you know.
Or a
'Cause-
painting in a museum.
Right.
It's all would arduous be it's all like these Stonehenge, the paintings, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like those things don't have
yeah.
any
Stonehenge
relation.
doesn't matter.
They don't have relation to oil or like just
Right.
stops oil's cause. But whereas Taylor
Like a
Swift's
plane. Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I think the point that I'm trying to get at. But they've done a lot. So they were the people that threw the soup at the paintings.
Soup, not cake. It was soup.
Yeah, I'm trying. Well, I think someone else did
I was
throw
gonna
a
say, I
cake.
remember cake.
Yeah, I think that was it. There's been a
People
giant
love to
uptick.
throw things at the Mona Lisa.
Oh,
In fact, they put glass in front of it because of it, right? They
Yeah.
put another layer of glass in front of the Mona Lisa.
Yeah,
They-
she's in a bunch of cases.
Just Stop Oil went to the Aston Martin showroom and like sprayed oil all over it. So like a bunch of expensive cars. Again, that's a little bit more
That's vandalism.
poignant. Yeah,
Yeah.
and again, I agree.
And that's expensive.
It's
Aston Martin.
vandalism, but I think
But yeah, no, you're right. That's more apropos.
with any, in my opinion, with any activism or any shit like that, any protest, any shit like that, it's a situation of like all is fair in love and war.
Sure.
And they're not playing by the rules that society,
Yeah, we do live in a society.
right.
Right.
They're not playing by those rules that we have like built up, you know? It's just
Yeah.
kind of like, fuck it, we don't care. We want to show you that we don't care.
Right.
You know?
But see, like you said, I think it's more so, just an attention grabber for headlines like, these
Yes.
people painted the Stonehenge.
Right.
Why?
Right.
And then it's, because activism, and it's just a
Right.
statement, right? I think it backfired because I'm going to go out on a limb here. It might not be the popular take. I like orange Stonehenge. I think it looks good.
I like Orange Stonehenge.
Listen, Stonehenge's kind of boring, guys. I'm not
They're
going to
my
lie.
favorite.
It's the same argument to have with the Grand Canyon. There's a big hole in the ground. I'm not paying to see it. I'd go look at it, but what do you do once you're there? You look at it, and then you've seen a hole in the ground. Stonehenge is neat because, how'd they get here? We don't know. But I already know that's the mystery behind it. And I can see it in person, but then what? It's Stonehenge. But now every time I go to Stonehenge, it's got a fresh coat of paint on it.
Different color every time.
How'd they paint the stones?
Battle Pass Stonehenge.
Yeah,
different
dude.
color every
Listen,
time.
if they have how seniors do the senior rock in front of the school sometimes, paint the rock.
Yeah.
Like the senior
would be
class
cool.
at Stonehenge High, paint Stonehenge.
Stonehenge High.
I'm just saying.
I like that.
That's the name of my pilot I'm working on for Cartoon Network, so no one can take that, by the way.
Just Stop Oil. They glued themselves to the frame of the Last Supper.
Who's letting these people do this?
Yeah.
Like-
Once they see someone in an orange shirt or something like that, anybody wearing that color of orange should not be allowed in an art museum or something
They
like that.
need to have
Van Gogh's sunflowers. They threw tomato soup at it.
They need
So
to have
awesome.
I want to
like,
be there for the brainstorming meetings. Like, what are we going to do this time to stop oil? Let's throw tomato soup at a painting.
Yeah, but
Like, yeah, that's probably the best thing we can do, right?
They need to have like paint and food sniffing dogs and glue sniffing
I'm
dogs.
gonna let you know a little secret. All dogs are food sniffing dogs.
so
But like at the door of the museum to stop people from even coming in with enough glue to glue 7 people to a fucking frame.
Well, I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to walk up to the fucking
Yeah,
picture and touch it anyway. I
right,
feel like the
right.
security guard's not doing his job in general.
right,
Yeah.
they smeared cake on the King Charles III wax at Madame Tussauds.
No, that's pretty good. I like
that one's
Yeah,
good.
no, that's good. They should
That's
just burn
solid.
down the wax figure.
But that's just because nobody
Fucking
likes
Brits.
him.
Put a put a little wick
Oh,
at the top
yeah.
of it. Light
Dude,
it.
if they stole the life-size wax figures with wicks,
Like that candle for like 3 years.
yeah,
That'd
hell
be
of a
awesome.
market.
That'd be so cool. Yeah, they've done a lot of like sports protesting too. Where they'll like run out onto the match, like throwing orange confetti and jigsaw pieces onto the court. That's funny at a tennis match at the Wimbledon, to be specific.
They got real weird
Yeah.
strategies.
Listen,
they're
They-
really just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
They
It's
really
just
want that
the,
headline. They want the attention-grabbing
It's like
headline.
a marketing scheme of like,
Orange?
let's throw this same specific color of orange everywhere so that people know when they see this orange that it's us.
But
you
let me
know?
ask you this: has it worked? When I say orange brand, do you think of this?
I don't think of this, but I think it's something where we have talked
Hell, if
about.
I say orange paint, I think of Nickelodeon. I don't think of
Yeah,
I
this.
just
yeah.
saw something where it said that they threw orange paint on a garden.
I'll show
Where?
'em.
Scroll
You're
up
destroying
like
the
it's right there.
environment.
Chelsea Flower Show. They threw orange paint over a show garden. That's
No, that's yeah. They don't know what they're doing.
okay.
They went to a Tekken 7 tournament. That's pretty funny. And sprayed orange paint at the competitors' computer monitors.
That's
That's super funny.
Wait,
They're just
Yeah,
everywhere.
you think anyone at the fucking second tournament had any idea?
Dude, they're just doing anything. They don't care. That's so funny.
Yeah, no, it's like who has a free day and what event is close.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Dude, they're just causing chaos. I kind
They're
of fuck
just
with it.
kind of criminals.
I'm down with just
They're
stop
really
oil.
dumb criminals
Listen, I want them to stop oil.
by
So-
throwing paint.
Yeah, throw paint. We've talked about it a couple times on the show now.
It's true. To
I
be
think
fair,
we're-
we talked about the cake. I think.
I think their
the
message
glue.
is getting out much more than we anticipated.
Well,
it
should
to.
they come on the show then
Let's
without
invite 'em.
paint? No, because they're gonna bring paint in the studio.
Paint our
Please
paint our
don't throw orange paint.
slime us. Just stop oil. Slime us.
Our color's red. It's not orange.
Ah, damn it. We could do a variant episode.
Let's I got an idea. Guerrilla marketing. Let's start throwing red paint on things.
Oh, I
And
love
when they
that.
catch us, we'll say it's for the radio.
It's for the radio.
Listen to the radio.
Just listen to the radio more, man.
What do you mean you don't get why I threw red paint on your dog? Listen to the radio. Come on, dumbass.
I'm just
Put two
out
and
on a
two
walk
together.
in my neighborhood. Why are you doing this?
Why are you painting my house? Just like really nice, professionally painting.
It is a washable dye on Stonehenge.
Oh, so they
Okay.
couldn't
So-
even commit. They can't even commit to being
Yeah.
vandals.
So, like, I wonder, are they just gonna
What's
wait
the
for the
point?
rain?
Yeah.
It looks kind of cool.
It does
You
look
can't
kinda
tell me
cool.
it doesn't look kind of cool.
Listen, Stonehenge in general looks kind of cool.
Yeah,
If
but it
they
looks
had
so
more
much cooler if it was
colors.
splatter painted.
Imagine if that was like a party. If there was a party in the middle
Oh,
of
if there was like
Stonehenge.
a black light.
Something,
strobe
any
lights?
kind of party would
You guys
be
are
cool.
saying you want to rave at Stonehenge?
Yeah.
Sure, like a DJ or something like that in
We
the
c-
center.
We
That'd
could
be so
do
cool.
like black light
lights.
paint on the stones.
That'd be so awesome.
That's
They'd be
awesome.
like a lunar bowl.
I'm just saying, Stonehenge with paint on it is cool.
Yeah. I don't think they're helping their cause. I think they're
I think they are. We're talking about.
I think
it.
they're hurting Stonehenge.
I think they are.
Do people own Stonehenge?
No,
Mm.
Stonehenge is for the people, by the people.
Stonehenge is free, guys. Do whatever you want to it.
You can take Stonehenge.
Yeah, just go up there and move the stones around.
If you want to, someone did it at some point.
To be fair, someone put a fucking hole through the Great Wall of China because it was inconvenient to their work path.
That's
so
very true. We can just take Stonehenge if you want.
yeah,
just take one stone from
Yeah,
Stonehenge.
it's
What-
just one.
Just the top one.
They literally have so many stones, they don't care. They won't miss it. It's just the top one.
If I had free reign for a day, I could just do whatever I want, right?
Rearrange the stones.
Yeah, I'd go up there and I'd even out all the stones.
I would
take
see-
off the one from the top and really
Leg-
straighten them out.
Legit, if I had Superman powers, and we'll touch on that later, but if I had Superman powers and could, like, do anything I wanted to Stonehenge for a day, I would try to domino knock them over and see if I legitimately could, because they are kind of patterned in a domino-esque way.
The whole point is we don't know why Stonehenge exists, right?
That's true.
If you know why, 216-859-8699.
You're listening to the Rebel Radio Show.
You know, for the third week in a row, I'm just chugging that ayahuasca. It's a crutch.
Would you do an ayahuasca
No.
tour thing?
No.
So immediately ready to turn that heel. Just
You-
so immediately, not even a thought.
He's
Grace
watched
has had.
so many
It
videos.
was so, like, instantly no. Obviously not, dipshit. Why would I ever consider? What makes you think I would ever consider that? The fact that I say constantly that I'm presently doing ayahuasca? Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like I have to like preface this with a setup because about 4 weeks ago we talked about Indiana. Was it
fucking
Indiana?
hate Indiana.
Indiana declaring that tacos are Mexican style sandwiches.
Oh yeah.
It's a
Yeah, there was-
law.
Because there was like a guy who wanted a Mexican
He
restaurant
wanted-
in
yeah,
the mall,
Yeah.
but they wanted
A
the mall
sandwich
owner
shop.
wanted a sandwich shop, and so the governor had to or the government had to come in, or a
Yeah.
judge, whatever, had to come in and declare
tacos are officially Mexican style sandwiches.
Which is such a whitewashing of
but we
literally Hispanic heritage.
it went on a bit of a tangent, but we
Mhm.
all agreed, I think, that tacos can be classified as a Mexican style sandwich, right?
Yes.
If you have to.
Right. Like that seems like a very innocent way to
Right.
go about defining a sandwich, quote unquote. Now we've also, like 2 years ago, done soup versus cereal. And my whole argument, I don't know how we got to that point,
Mm-hmm.
but my whole argument is that soup has to contain protein. Cereal can, but soup has to contain protein. And tequila has a worm. So tequila is more soup than cereal when it comes down to it. Now, this is what we've covered. This is the ground we have covered.
Sure.
We also talked about grilled cheese a little bit last week. We talked
Yeah.
about mac and cheese, or not
Yeah.
last week, this last discussion.
Yeah.
And it really just kind of spiraled into what is a sandwich and what isn't a sandwich and how to categorize food. And I didn't think it'd be such a fucking hot topic for everyone, but apparently it is.
Dude, I've been to the mall in like circa 2006, 2007. It is a hot topic.
There is a hot topic.
There is a hot topic.
And it is booming.
Yeah, buddy.
Maybe not anymore, but
Give me the Nyan Cat shirt.
there was a time
Yeah, buddy.
with my shutter shades on. We got text on the Rebel Hotline here about a week after that episode, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I'm listening to episode 211, and I'm cool with taco being considered a Mexican-style sandwich. But beef Wellington, breaded fish, fried chicken, pot pie, shit like that are something different because they are cooked and prepped together. A sandwich is multiple prepped ingredients put together. Bread, meat, cheese, veggies.
What do you
Would-
call an empanada, bitch? What do you call an
Would call
empanada,
in for a
fucking
live
dumbass
debate if
listener
Shane
at
needs to
home?
be educated. Also, calling all pasta mac and cheese is offensive to my Italian heritage. That's what started this snowball going downhill.
Let me start off by saying I don't give a single fuck about your Italian heritage. All right. That's just right off the bat. I'm Irish Italian, so I'm right there with you. Don't care, man. We don't need that kind of info in your Rebel Hotline text, okay? This isn't some kind of
216-859-8699 if you want to text in.
You know, a lot of things are sandwiches, and you're wrong,
I
listener.
don't
Empanada is a sandwich. That's all cooked together at the same time when you deep fry it.
I don't
Dumbass.
agree that the sandwich is all individual items because I'm not gonna go and eat like a slice of lettuce as my
But you
meal.
could.
Like,
But you could.
the whole
You ever had a
sandwich
salad?
was prepared together.
Wait, this guy's a dumbass. What the fuck do you call a chopped cheese, you bitch?
What the hell is a chopped cheese?
Where you take meat, you take lettuce, tomato, and I think like pickle and onion, and you chop it all together on a grill. So it's kind of like a.
So you're making a grilled
It's a sandwich.
cheese.
It's a sandwich, and then you put it on buns. You put it on like
Okay.
toast bread, or like toasted buns.
Sure.
Yeah, so
Um,
that's all prepared together.
That's all prepared together.
So that's a sandwich.
And that is a like classic New York staple sandwich. You go to like a bodega and you say, "I want a chopped cheese, papi."
Do you say that?
Literally every weekend.
But that's a sandwich. I agree. That is a sandwich. I'm all over the place because there's like 300 fucking messages in Discord right now about what people think about this.
Mhm.
Last time we talked, we agreed about a lot of it. We agreed a hot dog could be a sandwich
I think
because
a hot
it's
dog,
meat between bread.
I think
And
a
pot
hot
pie.
dog is a sandwich.
And
I
beef
don't
Wellington.
agree that no. I see
And
that's
Hot
where you lose
Pocket.
me. You said beef Wellington.
Yes.
You said pot pie.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You said fried fish.
Yes.
Are all sandwiches.
Yeah, there's bread.
Listen to the argument. It's plain and
Yeah,
simple.
go ahead.
There is breading,
Mhm.
a round ingredient. Sandwich.
A sandwich, you can take the crust off. Like a ham and cheese sandwich, right? You can take the crust off. It's still a sandwich. Doesn't change it, right? If you take the crust off a pot pie, you're left with just the innards. It's all crust.
Disagree strongly. Every time I eat a pot pie, especially like if I'm eating like a chicken pot pie
Yeah,
or
you
something
take
like
the lip
that.
off of it.
Well, the first thing I do is with my spoon, I crush the center of the pot pie I crush the crust into the rest of the pot pie, and then I mix it together. And then I take the crust and I literally like break it off.
Right, you eat it
the-
into the thing, yeah.
Right.
But if your argument last time we talked was you can eat it like a sandwich, pick it up out of the thing and eat
Yes.
it. A sandwich should be able to have the crust taken off
You
and
can
still be
take
a
the
sandwich.
lip
You can
off
take
the-
you can take the lip off and still have the top.
It's still crust on the
100%.
bottom. It's still
Yeah.
crust on the top.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all crust. Take it all off, and you just have
no,
fucking
no, no, no,
stuff.
no, 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 no.
No,
The
the lip is
crust
the
is
crust.
the lip. That's the
no,
crust.
the whole thing is crust.
You're a dumbass.
It's a pie. A
No.
pie is made in a crust.
No, it's bread. It's made from like wheat.
It's a chicken pot pie. A pie is a crust as a base. It's not bread on the base of a pie. It's crust.
Yes, it is. That is bread.
It's dough.
That is not a meat. That is not a vegetable. That is not a fruit. That is bread.
It's
Grain.
just dough. And if we're gonna say grain, no, sushi is not a
I
sandwich.
said sushi is a sandwich.
No, but like you know what I
Yes.
mean in terms of breading
Hang
is
on.
bread. The same way
Sure,
that like
okay.
the breading, the same way that I am classifying right now the breading on a chicken tender to be bread.
I'm gonna read some of these.
Sure.
Ethan says beef Wellington looks like a hot pocket, and pot pie is pie shaped in dinner stuffed foods. Those two wouldn't come across my mind as quote sandwiches. Meals with two individual slices of bread is considered to be top and bottom. Also, any food that doesn't involve utensils.
Yeah. So you can definitely eat a pot pie with one hand, sandwich style.
I could eat a beef Wellington with one hand.
Sandwich style. 100%.
Sandwich style. He says probably most sandwiches can be connected to American foods. Other countries, I'm not sure, but at the same time, I don't know if they apply the term sandwich to the menu for the official name.
Mexican style.
Which is an
sandwich.
interesting point because I don't know if sandwich is used outside of America frequently.
So this is an interesting. It's interesting that you bring this specific topic up. I just saw a video of an Australian guy, and he was making what he referred to as sandos, and he kept calling them sandos the whole time.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, I've never heard someone call them that before, and so it
you've never heard sando before?
I
You
mean,
make a
maybe
sando?
I had. Like,
Mhm.
I knew that it was a thing. I guess I had never heard. I was watching a video of someone making them, so he kept saying it. you
Yeah.
know? And I guess I just never heard someone say it that much so casually
Yeah,
in reference to a sandwich.
sure.
And it made me think this same sentiment of like, maybe not everybody says sandwich where they're from, and so they call these things like.
Right.
I think of empanadas and tacos
Sure.
are both two things that if we were in America, would have been considered a sandwich.
And I'll agree with that. Yeah.
Because they are a. But then here's my problem with that.
Me
Specific-
agreeing?
Yes, because an empanada, you could argue, is the same quote unquote crust
Hot
that you
pocket.
it's like that's what you're referring like a pot pie to, or like a pot pie could also be a hot pocket, you know, because
It's a-
that's the same like quote unquote crust that you're working with, but it's just bread.
It's bread.
It's about the shape, I think,
Mm.
because a pie.
For you, it's about the shape.
Well,
is what you're
here's
saying?
here's the thing. I consider a pie a different category of food altogether.
Ah,
no matter what
no.
you shepherd's pie,
No.
pumpkin pie, apple
'Cause-
pie, you can all put them in the same category because I don't think it's fair to consider dough as a commonplace bread.
No.
Dough is
disagree.
what it starts as, and then you can make bread or you can make crust.
No, disagree.
That's how
I
bread's
dis-
made.
I mean, I agree
also-
with that fact. I disagree with your opinion of then they are two different things. I think if it comes from that same dough, then it's
The same thing.
the same thing.
It is bread.
I agree with Ethan's assumption of hot pockets being essentially a different category. I think if we can find a middle ground of like a pocket being its own food
No.
or its own subsect of
No.
sandwich, because it is technically like a sandwich, a hot pocket.
Here is
But I
my-
think that better encapsulates beef Wellington. Even is more of a hot pocket than a sandwich.
I disagree. I still disagree.
I also
so
don't think beef
strongly.
Wellington's a fucking sandwich because it's just
Wellington-
breaded
Here,
beef.
listen to my come
It's
to
like a
hypothetical land with
Yeah,
me.
uh-huh.
And come to
It's
hypothetical
not a
land.
sub. Don't say it's a sub.
Listen, come to hypothetical land with me and
I'm
listen
there.
to this
Yep.
hypothetical
Yep.
that I think of every time. And this is what I thought about last time when we were talking about it, and this is why I'm so adamant. If you are driving in a car and you have a pre-warmed up but cold version of one of these where the innards have since solidified, that were once
Sure.
hot and gooey, have since like kind of solidified,
Uh-huh.
you can pick it up, whatever it may be, pot pie, beef Wellington, empanada, whatever. You can pick it up with one hand while you're driving, though it may not be like quote unquote the safest thing in the world. You can pick it up and take a bite out of it comfortably. It's the same premise as what Taco Bell was doing with the Crunchwrap Supreme when they made it. They wanted to make something that you could hold with one hand and eat while driving.
Here's my issue with that, because I agree, but
Mhm.
here's my issue with that. Last time we talked about this, we got a little bit into soup versus cereal. Hang on.
Wait,
hang
no,
on.
no. Can I just preface?
Yeah.
When we were talking about the soup versus cereal before, I did not recall our initial first soup versus cereal argument, and was I even there for that?
I don't know.
I think you were.
Was I? Because I don't remember that at all. If I'm being completely
However,
honest.
your issue is we can't categorize drinks, regardless of what they are, as soup or cereal, is what you said last week.
Yes.
So with what you just said about the hardening of the center, solidifying, making it a sandwich, if I have Jell-O and I leave it sitting out, does that just become a drink?
Yes.
Yes?
That becomes a drink.
So a Jell-O is just a drink at that point.
No.
Well, Jell-O starts as a drink,
Jell-O
becomes solid, and then it can become a drink again.
It starts as a drink. Technically, it starts as a food. You can eat the powder. Starts as a food,
Yeah.
becomes a liquid, becomes a solid.
And
If
then
you leave it out, becomes a
it's a
liquid
liquid.
again.
So with that, it's all about the state of matter it's in then?
Yeah.
So if I take Crunchwrap Supreme,
Yes.
which is a sandwich
Yes.
Yes.
from Taco Bell,
Yes.
and I take it and throw it in the blender
Uh-huh.
with some water, and I make it a drink. It's a drink now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to get into some, because there's like 200 of these fucking things, so I'm going to get through these real quick.
It would be like I wouldn't classify it as a milkshake or a smoothie.
It would
That's
be a
like,
drink, though.
I
It's a
think it'd be a
drink.
smoothie.
That's me
I no
like
longer have a sandwich.
hyper capitalize or hyper specifying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To say that it's a milkshake, quote unquote, but really it is a drink. Yeah. Because it has turned from a solid to a liquid.
But if I put milk in it, is it a milkshake?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I think it was a milkshake before that.
We talked a little bit about mac and cheese and also grilled cheese.
Yeah.
And we talked about mozzarella sticks or just grilled cheese. Bosco sticks
Absolutely.
or just grilled cheese.
Yeah.
It's just a different medium of eating it.
Yeah, and to say they're grilled cheese is again to say that they're a sandwich.
Mhm.
Right, because the grilled cheese is in the sandwich family.
Right.
But I'll agree with that. I think that mozzarella sticks and, what did I say, Bosco
Bosco
sticks or
sticks.
just
Yeah.
grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Any breading encapsulated with
Just cheese. Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
grilled
Evan
cheese.
the Pidge says he can get behind the noodle argument being mac and cheese when it's just noodles with cheese. Anything noodles with cheese, just mac and cheese
Like
with extra
Alfredo's,
steps.
mac and cheese.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He says I can't get behind the breadstick comparison.
What?
Because
Wait,
one
what's-
is toasted and one is fried.
What's the breadstick comparison?
The
breadsticks
breadsticks are
being
grilled
grilled cheese.
Oh, like a Bosco stick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says
Yes.
because one's toasted and one's fried, he can't get behind
Shut
it.
the fuck up, dumbass. I'm slapping anybody who disagrees with me.
He says just like a burrito is grilled and a chimichanga is fried.
yeah, but those are both.
Those are
He
sandwiches.
also
Those
says
are both
he says
sandwiches.
burritos are usually hot and wraps are usually cold.
Those are
Also,
sandwiches.
wraps
Both
usually open up
sandwiches.
on one end, whereas burritos are closed. Wraps are for crackers.
Dude, when
He's-
you
he's
go to
explaining all
Sheetz,
sandwiches.
when you go there are
I think he's
menus.
making the argument that burritos aren't sandwiches.
Yeah, and that's a dumbass opinion.
I think burritos. That's like the one thing we agree on is
Yeah.
that burritos, tacos,
those are all
empanadas, sandwiches.
Mexican
Those are all
style
sandwiches.
sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, I know they can be very similar, but burritos are also often bigger. He said, I'll defend my Mexican brothers and sisters to death. Dirty Pete chimes in and says, so a sandwich is anything that's handheld because then fried anything, chicken, Oreos, is a sandwich.
I agree.
It has a breading-like crust and
Yes.
something in the middle.
Yes.
Also, cereal has a crunch and soup does not. Disagree. You can have
No.
crunchy soup. You put crackers in soup all the time.
Ooh, you can have crunchy soup.
Yeah.
Think
But
about
you
when you
can
put like the
also have
tortilla
soggy
chips
cereal.
Exactly.
in your like corn
Yeah.
soup, whatever.
Exactly.
You can also have soggy cereal.
You
What
can
do you-
also have soggy cereal.
What's oatmeal? Is that cereal? You consider oatmeal cereal or soup?
I don't know. I would almost. I think it's one of those things, in my opinion, where oatmeal, grits, and cereal have all alongstead been a breakfast time meal that you eat from a bowl. So I
Yeah.
think they all deserve their own category.
All right.
People have been eating those three foods for breakfast for eons,
That's
since the
fair.
Dark Ages.
And grits are disgusting.
Grits are disgusting. I just had grits with sugar in them like last week, and they were very good.
Dirty
I liked
Pete
them
says
much more.
cereal has protein. Protein doesn't have to come from meat. Soup also has to come to a boil. Not all soup is hot, but all soup at some point must come to a boil. I disagree.
So-
I disagree. Ice soup is a thing.
Yeah, like gazpacho is a thing.
I don't think you have to
Yeah,
boil
you don't
gazpacho
have
at any point, do you?
No.
No.
It's
you
always
might.
cold.
You might have to boil it and then let it cool, and then once it's cold, that's how it's supposed to be, like quote unquote served properly.
I can
like
attest.
refrigerate it.
I can
I have no
attest.
idea, but
The way you make miso soup At least the way I've seen it made,
Uh-huh.
you could either boil it in like with a tea kettle, or you can make it in like a coffee maker. But I've seen people make it cold and drink it cold, and that is a soup. Soup does not have to come to a boil to be made. I disagree with that
Well-
fundamental. Dirty Pete also says, what separates wraps and burritos from a sandwich? I can't see every ingredient in those. Those become more like pies since the insides are completely covered. You have to have an opening, just like how some pies have vents at the top. You can't see all the ingredients inside from one angle at all, if possible. They're saying that sandwiches, you have to be able to see the ingredients inside from every angle,
Fuck off.
which I disagree with because tacos are sandwiches.
Fuck
Yeah.
off. Think about those. Have you ever seen the videos? I only know about this because it just popped up on my YouTube. But
Two
in-
girls with the one cup.
yeah,
those are
crazy.
wild. Sandwich, though, right?
In
Yeah, the
Japan,
cup.
they have a UFO burger where they like crush the two buns together and like cook it, like almost as if they're
Oh.
like making Crunchwrap Supreme where you
Yeah,
press
yeah.
it together
It's
to
like
heat
a
it.
mountain pie.
Like a
Yeah,
panini.
it's like a mountain pie type thing
Yeah.
where it's like two pieces of bread pressed together, but it's like a burger
Hmm.
on the inside. And that's a sandwich.
And a
So-
mountain pie is a sandwich. It's
Right.
2 pieces of bread.
Right. So anything
can't see
you
anything.
can still enclose everything on the inside and still classify it
I
as
agree.
a sandwich.
Yeah. I don't think you all of your sandwich classifications are correct, but I think we are, in essence, in agreement of what
Can and
can
can't.
be ruled out as not a sandwich.
Yeah.
Like being able to see the ingredients doesn't qualify you as a sandwich.
Yeah.
I don't think being hot or cold qualifies you as a sandwich.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna speed around through these Reddit ones because
Yeah.
there's like 200 of them.
Yeah.
The first one is calling an authentic corn tortilla bread is a fight on sight for my Mexican friends.
Hey,
Uh,
that was ruled by the state, my
yeah,
friend.
yeah, that's
That's
a
what
state
got us
ruling.
here.
Yeah.
I feel the heart of the sandwich is the portability, the ability to be playing cards and snacking on it.
Again, you want to be able to be driving and eating.
They said, I think you could use a pot pie. I don't think it would hold together quite as well. Something maybe like a Jamaican meat pie I'd categorize more as a sandwich than a pot pie.
Okay, but a Jamaican meat pie is the same thing as an empanada, and in my opinion, an empanada is just a smaller version of a pot pie. You could put the ingredients of an empanada or of a pot pie into an empanada.
Pot pies in the good old days had crust thick enough to serve as Tupperware. Pastries, in particular, had extra big edges, so as a working man with little access to sanitation could grasp it, eat most of it, and throw away the dirty part.
Ah, so it's supposed to be thick and
It's supposed to
It's
be a
supposed to
sandwich.
be handheld.
right. So
Uh,
a pot pie is meant to be like eaten with one hand.
Yeah.
Back in the day, damn. See, there you go. So that's a sandwich,
onto
baby.
something.
That's a sandwich.
Depends on the type of bread it's made with. Take sausages, for example. Hot dogs, brats, kielbasa, etc. If contained inside a hot dog bun, it's just referred to as whatever the type of sausage is used. But if you swap out the bun for a roll, that instantly becomes a sandwich. So a
That's-
Shut up,
calzone,
no.
yes, a sandwich.
Yeah, every single one. A hot dog is a sandwich.
Yeah.
A calzone is a sandwich. Everything that you just said there. is
Italian
a sandwich.
sausage, that's a sandwich.
Yeah, a roll.
Once-
If it's in a roll, if it's in between a roll, it's a sandwich.
One type of food smashed between parallel pieces of a different type of food that are a matching material, i.e. bread,
Mhm.
makes a sandwich.
Yes.
Mhm.
I like that idea.
Yes, it's very simple. It doesn't
Yeah,
need
that's
to
what
be
we've been saying this whole time.
right. It's very simple. It doesn't need to be
At the very least, 2 slices of bread. Whatever comes after that, I give 2 shits.
right.
For me, a sandwich requires at least one top piece of bread. A taco is not a sandwich.
Shut up.
A roll-up is not a sandwich.
Shut up.
Mm.
Gyro is not a sandwich.
Shut up.
Gyro is a sandwich.
Gyro is definitely a sandwich.
Because gyro is just a different burrito.
I would say like if you take a tortilla and you put cheese on it and then you put like ham on it, like lunch meat ham on it, and then roll that up, that is a sandwich, yet a very confusing sandwich.
May I introduce you to the salad theory? What is considered a salad? Do all salads have to have lettuce? How many ingredients involve a salad? Can you just have lettuce and dressing and call it a salad?
Oh yeah, because there's macaroni salad, there's potato salad, there's
Used to just eat lettuce and ranch dressing.
I think
my,
that's a salad.
my grandma
Yeah.
would
That's
make
a
that for
salad.
me, and
Yeah.
she would say, "We're eating salads.
Yeah.
Let me make you a salad."
I think that's like the very basic salad, right?
So I think as long as you have, for me, lettuce and a dressing, it is a salad, no matter what.
I agree with the reason the town declared tacos as Mexican sandwich in this contest. A sandwich shop in definition in the shopping center required food to be made fresh, on site, fast for a casual dining experience and be eaten there or to go and portable. In this case, a taco burrito shop meets those standards, so yes, it is a sandwich. The following one: no, it cannot be a sandwich if it is a pie, as sandwiches are made in a fitted pan, and tortillas make tacos
No.
if folded in half. In quesadillas, you
This
fold that
person's
even more.
crazy.
Hot dogs could be considered sandwiches, but it doesn't really count because a sandwich means it has two separate pieces of bread.
No, we already ruled that out.
If for
Yeah.
some reason you were crazy enough to cut a hot dog lengthwise into strips, then yes, it would be considered a sandwich because you could place two pieces of bread around it. Hot dogs don't stay in the bun very well when they're on their side. Also, someone says, does this mean a Bloody Mary is just gazpacho? Yes, it
Yes.
does.
Ooh,
Oh, I
yeah.
like that.
100%. You put a
They're
piece of
invited.
celery in there, boom.
Bring them in.
Yeah,
Gazpacho, that's a soup, baby.
that's a soup. Bloody Mary is a soup.
Yeah.
Bloody Mary is a soup. Tequila's a soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is we're on
Alcohol
a
is
roll.
So soup doesn't have to be hot. It doesn't have to be brought to a boil.
Right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't understand why we need to specify everything else. It's just a sandwich or a soup. Sometimes it's
Everything
both.
is a sandwich or a soup
maybe
or a drink.
maybe.
But then some drinks can be soups.
Some food can be drink.
some food can be drink. Some pee can be poop.
What comes out as pee and what comes out as poop are the only two classifications we need to worry about.
Man does not yet have these answers.
What will it come out as? The world may never know.
Yeah,
That's up to you to decide.
I guess so.
Chipotle bowl, is that a salad?
A Chipotle
I'd
bowl
say that's a salad.
is
It has lettuce.
I kind of hate that. I kind of hate that, but I get it.
See, here's the thing. If you put like one of the hot sauces on it, or if you put vinaigrette on your bowl, see,
That's dressing.
I put vinaigrette on my bowl, then it becomes a salad. But also, I don't
queso?
think I don't put. Yeah, I would classify queso.
That's a dressing.
Right. I don't put lettuce on mine though, so
I
maybe
do.
mine isn't a salad.
Well, you don't need lettuce for a salad. We covered that. Macaroni salad, potato salad,
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah.
pasta salad.
So maybe
Maybe.
it literally just needs to be. Here's what I'm gonna say. My
It
final
needs to be
final
covered in
offer
sauce.
classification for what is a salad: 2 ingredients covered in a dressing.
Yeah.
But you
Two
can
or
eat, hang on,
more.
but you can eat salad without dressing. You could get like lettuce, carrots, tomato
I guess.
in a bowl and eat it.
Yeah, but that's not
It's a salad.
enjoyable.
No, but it is a salad.
But it
doesn't
is
have
a
to be a good
salad.
salad. Tequila is not a good soup, but it
Okay,
is a soup.
okay.
I think
how about
tequila's
this?
a great soup.
How about this?
Sorry.
3 or more ingredients mixed
In
together
a bowl,
in a bowl. 3 or more ingredients mixed together, no
Mhm.
matter what,
no matter what.
is a salad. Final offer.
Does
I
it have to
think.
be in a bowl, or just 3 ingredients mixed together is a salad?
What
Well,
if
they
I
have
mix
to be
steak,
mixed together.
chicken, and
They have to be mixed together,
Pork.
and that has to be how you eat it.
Right.
You have to eat it mixed,
Mixed together,
Like
right.
you take spoonfuls or forkfuls.
It doesn't have to specifically be a bowl, though.
Jules.
So what if I just mix together a bunch of cubed steak, chicken, and pork?
That's a meat
Boom,
salad.
It's a meat salad.
That's meat salad, baby.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
a Tuesday.
Yes. Yeah. Call that meat salad Tuesday.
Pico is now salad.
Pico has always been salad.
Yeah, pico is salad.
Pico was never not salad.
Is salsa salad?
Yes.
Or a salsa dressing. If I get it on my Chipotle, is it
soup.
dressing or am I putting salad on my salad? Am I-
Depends on the. See, now this is a situation where it depends on the viscosity. Is it blended up? Is it like?
Is
thin-
it a drink?
is
Can
it-
you drink the salsa? Is what it
Can
comes
you
down
drink
to.
the salsa, or
Are
do
you
you
putting a
have to?
beverage
To
on
eat
your salad, or
Do you-
are you putting
Right,
a salad on your salad?
Because there are some picos that are very fresh, and like you could almost take a fork
Sure,
and like
yeah.
bite it. You know,
The good pico.
right? The good pico. But then there's like thin salsa that like literally
Dressing.
It like makes
It's like
the
tomato paste.
tortilla shell
Yeah.
wet, or the tortilla chip wet.
Yeah.
That's a drink. So
And all dressings are drinks.
and all dressing is. Oh man, you put drinks on your salad.
That's what I'm saying. You're either putting a drink on your salad or you're putting a salad on your salad.
Dear God, the horrors.
Sometimes, if you go to Chipotle and you get a bowl, you're making a salad.
Yes.
And if you put pico on that salad, you have doubled your salad.
salad. It's a salad matrix.
Next time you ask them if they want a salad, go to Chipotle. 216-859-8699. I know there's going to be more backlash about this.
You're listening to the Rebel Radio Show, legal in 47 states.
Hey, you there. Welcome. Welcome back.
Hey, thanks.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show. We're live at 5 every Monday right here on WSRR Radio. You can get there at you can get there at WSRRradio.com, or you could even download the Live 365 app, and hell, take us with you wherever you go. You could even pair us with your car stereo or your Bluetooth speaker or your headphones even.
If you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm Radio's Rebel DJ Style, and that's Shaney.
Hey, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Howdy.
And we're going to talk about, just the basics today. Taking a shit in a Pringles can, leaving it in the parking lot, and getting disbarred.
Yeah.
We've all been there. We all know the story.
What are these the basics of? I think I've
Thugonomics?
missed something.
Economics. Thugonomics.
Thugonomics.
Yeah.
Basic thugonomics. This is the basic thugonomics. right
Yeah,
here.
this is basic thugonomics.
So, of course, this is in Ohio.
Of course it is.
There was, and now this is a little while ago now that this part happened. There was an attorney in Ohio.
6 months.
6 months ago?
Mhm. He had a 6-month suspension.
Oh, interesting.
Mm.
Okay, so there was an Ohio attorney, a public defender, I believe, who got suspended from practicing law for 6 months because he shit in a Pringles can and left it outside of the legal center.
It was a victim advocacy center.
Outside of the legal center. He shit in a Pringles can, left it in the parking lots, and they caught him on surveillance doing it. And they told him he couldn't practice law for 6 months. And the reason we're talking about this is because as of this week, he is off his suspension. He's reinstated.
He has finished all the steps to become a
He's
better
finished his duty.
person.
He's finished his duty.
He has finished his duty. I can't fathom this. I can't fathom that he was like, ha ha ha, a Pringles can, my perfect pooping platform.
Now listen, this has a couple layers to it, much like ogres and onions.
As they say.
Yeah. This has a lot of layers to it because initially my thought was if I had to really go, I didn't realize he was in the parking lot. If I had to really go and I'm driving,
Mhm.
Pringles can would be pretty ideal. Like I've never thought about it, but like if there was like an
Sure.
object I had in my car that I have got to shit right now and I'm not going to make it and I'm not going to just pull down and drop down the side of the road.
That's so disgusting.
It would be a Pringles can. Like it would work. You can't say it wouldn't work.
That's so disgusting, though.
I'm not saying it
would.
isn't,
It would. It's just like
but that's a thought I've never had. However, this isn't the case.
It gets fucking worse.
Yeah, no, this isn't the case. He wasn't looking for a last-ditch effort to hide his duty. No, he was caught and said, no one was harmed. I've pulled this prank at least 10 times before. This year.
Yeah, at least 10 times that fucking year. You disgusting poop
And he
gremlin.
What's he wiping with?
You
Oh.
disgusting freaking doo-doo gremlin.
The chips?
I hate you.
The lid.
The lid?
I hate you.
I
It's
just
so gross. He did it. He sat in his car, pooped in a Pringles can upwards of 10 times.
Just
Why?
that year.
Why?
he had known the people that worked at the Advocates Center for years apparently, and he was scheduled to meet with them 15 minutes before, or 15 minutes after he deposited the Pringles.
Come on, man. Just poop in the frickin' poop place.
So basically, he threw the Pringles in the parking lot and went inside to meet his buddies.
No, it wasn't Pringles.
I promise you it wasn't
Poopy
Pringles.
Pringles.
I promise you it wasn't Pringles.
Those were not Pringles.
It was-
Barbecue my ass.
Doo-doo.
Literally.
Doo-doo McStinkins. Dude. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Poop in the toilet like a big boy.
That's
Who is
not
this
a
funny
prank.
to?
Yeah.
Because he's not there for the payoff, is the thing. Like, if you're pooping in a Pringles can, if you're leaving it out someone's doorstep and hiding in the woods and, like, scoping them out, and it's like, ha, they looked in the Pringles can, saw my poop, that's at least a prank. Like, that is a prank at its core.
Right,
You could find humor in it.
right.
But he's not there for the payoff. So what is the prank?
What's this
You-
guy's MO?
Yeah, what's your deal, man?
What's this
your
guy's
goal?
MO?
He's
What's
What do you
just gotten
gain from this?
really
Yeah.
good at shitting in Pringles cans.
That's his niche. That's his niche talent.
I think
He's got a
that
hell of a
he
name.
would have to be afraid of public pooping. Would be my
Maybe?
guess. Maybe.
But then he couldn't put it in the trash.
I don't know. I have
It's
no
a prank.
idea.
He said he calls it a prank. He said I've pulled this prank at least 10 times this
he
year.
does call it a prank.
It's
That's
not a
the
prank.
problem.
Who are you pranking?
That's not a funny. That's not prank.
However, now I will play devil's advocate here, because
Pooper's advocate.
I will play Pooper's advocate. If this guy left a Pringles can, just a Pringles can full of Pringles, in the parking lot, hell, even an empty Pringles can in the parking lot,
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't have disbarred him for littering.
No.
Someone picked this up, saw it was filled with shit, and went, "We've got to get to the bottom of this.
We need to look at the cam. Yeah, no.
yeah,
someone
we got
was
to
like,
figure this out."
Yeah, someone was
Yeah.
like, we need to look at the cameras
They
and
were
see what
like,
happened.
So what?
Wow,
what-
this has happened 11 times this fucking
What's
year.
going?
Who keeps
What the
doing
hell
this?
is going on?
Now that's a prank. If it's the same place 10 times, that okay, that might be a prank.
The janitor of that building is like, they can't keep getting away with this.
But like, he wasn't suspended from his law license for littering.
Yeah,
It was, what was it for? I want to know the reason.
maybe it was
Public
for,
defecation.
I don't know.
Because like,
I don't
I'm saying
know.
if this is
Lewd
just
behavior.
if he just left a Pringles can, this wouldn't have happened. But there's poop in that Pringles can, and now we're here.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That also means whoever picked this up was really bugged by it.
No,
Well, yeah,
there
wouldn't you?
It was probably heavy. Ugh.
Well, I wouldn't have picked it up. You
I
see?
wouldn't have picked it up either.
Yeah,
I would have ran away.
yeah.
If you didn't know that there was poop in that Pringles can, and you were the
Oh man, it
the
looks
person
really
tasked,
brown in there. Man, it smells right there.
well, hey, the can was the clear lid was facing away from you. All you saw was the silver bottom, and let's say it was the cheddar can, and it was
Okay,
the orange
sure.
can, and so you're the person.
I had the sour cream in
Listen.
my mind, but that's fine.
You're the person that is tasked with going out there and cleaning up the parking lot.
Yeah.
And you see just, oh, there's a can of Pringles laying there. I'll pick that up.
Sure.
And then you're like, oh, there's some weight in there.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. No, I see that.
I'd
Was
be a little
it-
bothered.
Was it the big Pringles can or was it the small Pringles can?
Oh, if it's a small
gotta be
Pringles
the
can,
big
it changes
one.
everything.
That's
It changes everything if
that's
it's a
a-
small can.
That's a bomb.
Yeah, no, that thing is packed to the brim.
It's
If
gotta be
a
the big
small
one.
Pringles can. That is, everything that has processed him is completely understandable if it's the small can.
If you,
You know?
if you give that thing a light toss,
You have.
DEFCON 11,
You have a
diarrhea
biohazard.
Yeah, yeah.
That's actually kind of a good thought. Wouldn't
That's
no,
not a good
no,
thought.
no,
Yuck.
not
I
like
don't want to think
not
about
like
Yucky.
doing that, but like
it. I think about
aren't-
that often.
aren't those
Jules
cans
is like, that's a
kind
good
of
battle strategy.
well, aren't those cans kind of like aluminum a little bit? And
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
feces can become like it can expand materials, and couldn't it become a bomb if it became like too hot outside?
I don't know about all that.
Maybe if you're saying if like it expanded.
Yeah,
And,
and, like,
I think if you like put it
It
under
would probably blow the lid off more than anything.
yeah like 105
Yeah.
degree sun or something like that, and then taped the lid on. If you shit in a Pringles can,
Mm-hmm.
taped the lid on, left it in like a concrete parking lot on like a super hot humid
Yeah.
day,
It might blow up.
it might blow up. Maybe.
Now, did you ever make a Works bomb when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Don't look at me like
I'm not
that.
gonna say works. That sounds like what's a works bomb?
It's
Oh,
Works, the bathroom
It's the
cleaner.
bathroom cleaner
The
Oh.
Works.
in the water
I
bottle.
thought that had something to do with Hertz Donuts, and I did not want any punches on my arm.
The fucking side eye Shane gave me when I said that.
It sounded
No.
like Hertz Donuts.
So like, when you're poor, and you want something to do in a parking lot of an apartment, you made a Works bomb,
Mhm.
and all it is a water bottle and Works bathroom cleaner because
And
the
tin
chemical. You don't have to,
Oh.
because the chemical agent in the Works, when it's left under compressed air, so you tighten the bottle around like how you used to shoot off the caps.
Yeah.
You do that and you tighten it and you shake the Works in it so it expands the bottle, and you throw it and it blows off the cap because the solvent wants to
Yeah.
expand. So it's just a Works bomb,
Don't
just
do that at
much
home.
a much grosser version of it.
Yes, a much grosser version of a Works bomb.
So rather than making a Works bomb to prank someone, shit in a real small Pringles can, and none of
Tape
them,
the lid on.
was it the Pringles can or was it the Pringles cup?
Yeah, yeah. Is it the can or the cup?
The-
Because that's a
the-
big difference.
No. I'm talking. You got the can, you got the little can, and then you got the
Oh,
cup. The
like the
plastic.
little plastic.
Oh my god! Just
That's another
fucking
level.
Smudge that thing shut.
He's in his scarf, fucking
Right.
squeezing it in there.
Shut. It squeezes out the sides.
Now, that one might be a little noticeable. Now,
That's
if it's
so gross.
if
Why would you do this so many times, Mr. Attorney? Right? Like he just.
he just left it and went inside.
There
Is it
was
so-
a kid in my high school that shit in a lunchbox in the Lost and Found and thought that was a funny prank.
It's funnier than this
Yeah.
I want to know if this is.
because you'll know the payoff.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is this the first time that like the Pringles can with shit in it has been left in
I
the
would
same
assume.
parking lot,
I would assume.
and they've picked up this shit-filled Pringles can multiple times?
Oh, I disagree. I think this is the first time he tried it here. I could be wrong.
No,
Okay,
I
okay.
think all 10 of them, same spot.
I don't think so.
Because
Yeah.
it went on to say that he's known the people that work at the Advocate Center for years.
So what?
And, like, I think it's...
Come on, these guys have been picking up my shit for years. Why is it a problem now? I thought it was a funny little thing we did. You know, I shit in the parking lot, they pick it up.
They love it. It's great.
I'm quirky like that, you know? Also,
It's a silly guy.
this guy was in the middle of representing someone in a fucking murder trial, by the way, when he was disbarred
Ouch.
for this.
Ouch.
Imagine you're potentially going to jail for capital murder, and
And
some
you're a
random
lawyer.
public defender walks in one day, and they're like, "Hey, where's that other guy?" He's like, "Oh no, he's disbarred. He's shit in the parking lot in a Pringles can."
He shit into a Pringles can and left it in the parking lot as a quote-unquote prank.
multiple
He's
times.
disbarred. He is done.
I don't see. That's the problem, is because they would have to get. I think they'd have to get him for littering. I think they would have to say it's littering. I think that's
I
what it
think
would have
that's
to be.
being
And I don't
really
think,
polite.
but I don't think you can be disbarred for littering, and that's why they suspended him.
I think
I
that
think
that's
if-
being really polite.
If he would have just shit in the parking lot, I think they could have disbarred him. But he didn't. He's littering.
No, there's what's it
It's a
called?
Pringles can.
What's it called when you're just out in public and you're? I mean, yeah, like a public nuisance, but also it's not jaywalking. I can't think of it, but when you're just loitering,
Sure.
like he might be able to get caught on loitering for leaving something like that behind. I don't know. It's just so
he had
strange.
business
If-
there.
If he shit in the Pringles can in his car in the parking lot,
Yeah.
that could be considered
Yeah.
loitering. Like,
I guess it's about how long has the shit been in the Pringles can. Did he shit in the car there?
right?
Or did he prepare this at home
Did he
and bring
bring
it?
it? Did he
That's
bring it from
worse.
home?
That's
That would be
worse if
so
he brought it
gross.
from home.
I'm just gonna leave this right
be
here. Little
vandalism.
prank.
Uh,
Did he? But he didn't take anything, right?
But he
Is
left poop.
yeah, but it's
Oh,
contained.
yeah,
Like,
duh.
if you
But it's
leave
contained.
if you leave
He
poop
took
on
care of
somebody's
it.
doorstep, that's
That's
vandalism.
vandalism, yeah. It might be vandalism.
They might have gone for I think
I was
that's a
thinking
stretch.
they could have stretched it even further and like gave him some kind of penalty for
Well, I really
like,
think he got
disposing of poop the wrong way.
Yeah, that might be. I really think it was just being
yeah.
unprofessional because you have to like.
Improper disposal of waste or
Yeah.
something like
You can
that.
get disbarred for being unprofessional.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can't just be posting pictures of you like chugging beers on Instagram.
Right.
They'll disbar you for that.
Right.
So like I think that's what it was. I really think it was like a slap on the wrist of like, hey man, we only know that this was you because we caught it on the camera, but you can't be shitting in Pringles cans.
Yeah, probably.
You can't be doing this.
It-
Like if someone found out this was you, you can't be doing this.
They were probably trying to do the lightest slap on the
Yeah.
wrist as possible. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's what it is.
Because this is weird, and the fact that it was only 6 months and now he's back is also weird.
I don't want him as my lawyer.
You're right. I don't want him as my lawyer. I don't want to do my
But that's-
research and then find out that this is the guy that shit in the Pringles can.
Well, that's the best part though. He's a public defender, right?
Yeah.
You don't get a choice if this is your lawyer.
I guess.
216-859-8699. Let me know what kind of Pringles you're eating.
left the Rebel Radio Show playing.
Is your hand stuck?
Hmm?
Is your hand stuck?
That's I'm hungry for Pringles after that. I don't know what it was.
Just something about.
You just gotta clean that out for later.
Yeah.
Kind of tastes like shit. I'm not gonna lie, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, not sponsored by Pringles,
But
but
we'd
we'd
like
like
to
to be.
be.
We're not
Yeah.
getting sponsored by Pringles after that last segment.
Maybe if we shit in them and send them to Pringles, they'll be threatened.
Dude, what if this guy's the new spokesman for Pringles?
That'd be awesome.
I gotta get these Pringles out of my mouth. I'm crunching here. Why don't you talk about this next segment?
So Eddie Murphy was doing a interview with I think it was Collider. I don't know, probably for some movie that he's in. I have no idea. But he talked about
Good
doing-
research.
He talked about doing Shrek 5, and he confirmed that they've like already started voiceover work and stuff like that, and he's getting a standalone donkey movie. So
Which is,
shout out to Eddie Murphy.
I'm
He's
glad.
coming back.
I mean, he's finally made it.
Yeah, well, he was gone for a while. He was out of the public eye for a while.
Which I'm glad.
Get it out of here.
because-
Get the picture of Shaq and Shrek out of here right now. The bit will not live on.
Why don't you like it?
I don't want to see Shaq and Shrek.
They look so happy.
No, they don't.
They're like ogres and
No.
onions.
I don't like
Shaq has layers.
it. Shaq has a soda.
And pizza. He's got layers.
No. No Shaq Shrek.
Anyway, the rumor initially was the next Shrek wouldn't have Eddie Murphy in it.
Yeah, because Eddie Murphy was like he stepped away from the limelight from Shrek.
He hates
wasn't
him.
he wasn't doing anything in Hollywood
There was a
anymore.
big falling out between Eddie Murphy and Shrek.
and Chris Farley.
Well,
All three of
that
them.
would be Shrek.
All three of them had a big falling out
Yeah.
recently.
You ever notice Chris Farley's been pretty quiet about the whole Shrek thing recently?
Yeah, where's he been on all this?
I don't know, man.
What's his input?
Is Mike Myers confirmed?
I would assume so. Yeah.
He makes most of his money from Shrek, right?
The movie is supposed to come out in 2025,
Because,
but
like,
DreamWorks hasn't confirmed that yet. So
listen, I know we've talked about this before, but Mike Myers went on a fucking tear in the early 2000s
yeah,
for no reason. Like, no one asked for Mike Myers.
people loved his humor. I think it was genuinely. I think it was like Wayne's World was so funny,
Yeah.
and then he just got everything and kept. He was like the yes man.
Yeah.
And like even Wayne's World 2 sucked.
Yeah, no.
But like I don't know what his next movie after Wayne's World was, but he just kind
It
of.
was Austin Powers was the next series.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So like he was in Austin Powers. He was in Love.
Yeah, he
Guru.
fucking tore it up.
From
Yeah,
the top.
yeah. And
Cat
then
in the Hat?
Shrek, Cat in the Hat. Yeah,
I think Cat in the Hat's kind of where it,
that's his magnum opus.
Yeah.
That's his biggest. Yeah, I agree.
just like, what's the guy from that other movie, Garfield?
Oh,
I don't know what the
I
other
don't
movie
remember
was,
his
but
name. Yeah, I don't remember.
He did
his name.
Garfield.
Yeah,
But yeah, like Mike Myers went on a fucking tear out of nowhere. They did Wayne's World, and then I think Austin Powers is the next big franchise after that,
yeah,
and that has what 4 movies,
yeah. 4 movies.
which went like up to the almost to 2010s. It was
Yeah.
like 09, I think, was the last one.
Yeah,
And that had like a spin-off, and so like Austin Powers went on a fucking tear, and then Shrek, because Shrek started 2001 was the first Shrek, and now there's gonna be 5 Shreks.
yeah.
So like, and Cat in the Hat, of course.
Yeah, Shrek and I are the same age.
But like,
There you
I
go.
hate, that's not true. But like, that's fucking insane. That like the dude probably makes most of his money from Shrek still.
Probably, and all the spin-off TV shows that Shrek, because Shrek has had a lot of like Netflix shows
yeah.
and shit
Christmas
like that.
specials.
Yeah, so yeah, he's definitely still living off that Shrek.
Video games.
100%, 100%.
How much money do you think Mike Myers makes off Shrek video games?
Probably a lot. He probably makes so much Shrek money.
Yeah, I
He's
wish I
probably
had that
super
Shrek money.
rich. And you know what's interesting too? Like,
Shrek money is probably close to Shaq money.
oh yeah, Dana. I was just thinking about this recently. Like, I think I was thinking about this in the shower. Don't quote me, but the Masters of Disguise with Dana Carvey.
Yeah,
That was supposed to be big. That was supposed to
Yeah.
be like his big after. You know, that was
Yeah.
supposed to be his big Austin Powers.
and it kind of did the opposite, didn't it?
Totally flopped.
Yeah.
It's like a cult classic. People love it who like watched it back then.
People
Love
like
it.
the one scene where he's too turtly for the Turtle
yeah,
Club.
the Turtle Club is iconic.
That's about it, though. That's
Right,
about
right.
all anyone ever quotes from that movie.
Right. But like it's interesting that Mike Myers had such a standout. And again, I think probably Austin Powers doing pretty good in like the comedy sphere,
Yeah.
and then having Shrek too. Like those both that just set him off. You know.
It was literally Wayne's World, and then they realized that he could do funny voices, and that was
Right.
the rest of his career.
Right.
Because he plays everybody in Austin Powers,
Yeah.
but he does a funny British voice, and he does Fat Bastard, and then
Yeah.
Shrek is just Fat Bastard.
Right.
That's all it is. Like,
Well,
oh, he's Scottish.
He did the Love Guru too. and
That's
I think
right.
He did an accent in that. I forget
Yeah.
what it was, but he did like
I think it's kind of like a
character work.
Scottish accent, a little bit.
Maybe. I forget.
They all kind of sound. Well, even Cat in the Hat had a little fucking accent.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely just a character actor,
Yeah,
which isn't bad. That's fun. That was like
Yeah.
popular for that time. But,
but like, who would have thought he'd be getting voice acting work? You know, that's wild to me.
well, I mean, it's one of
'Cause
those things where,
it's one of those things you don't associate Shrek with Mike Myers. You associate him with Chris Farley.
of course.
But like Lightning McQueen, you can be like, oh yeah, that's Owen Wilson.
okay, yeah.
You don't fucking look at Shrek and think instantly, oh, that's Mike Myers. It's
Right.
Shrek.
Well,
that's Shrek.
You got to
yeah.
backpedal the Shrek voice and be like, oh, that's Mike Myers doing a Scottish accent.
And I wonder if we would maybe associate Mike Myers with Shrek more because remember
I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I just turned my laptop.
if
Shrek was still on there with Shaq.
Shrek was still there. He's glancing at me. But
He's never left.
didn't Mike Myers so he recorded it all in his regular voice and then he re-recorded it in
Oh,
the
did he?
Scottish voice?
And they're like, nah, we don't like you. We like Fat Bastard.
Right. I'm like 90% sure that happened and they had to like remodel Shrek's lips to match
Really?
how Mike Myers was talking in the different accent.
Really?
Don't quote me, but I think that is something
I
that
heard something.
I think
about
that's something
at
that
one
happened.
You
point.
give me a lot of uncredible quotes today.
I really have. Don't quote me on anything at
Um,
all ever.
So that brought up the point that we were talking about when they made Chris Pratt Mario. Like he was just Chris Pratt as Mario. He didn't make a voice. He didn't do anything.
Right,
Like
right.
that's
Yeah.
Mike Myers did a voice, and that's why he's not
Right.
the first thought when you think of Shrek.
Well, Eddie Murphy didn't do a voice for Donkey, and I feel like he's very. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I hear Donkey. I'm like, yeah, that's Eddie. I think about Eddie Murphy
Yeah.
before I think about Mike Myers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
I relate, and it's because I think Eddie Murphy is just doing Eddie Murphy's
Yeah,
voice. He's
you got
not
to backpedal.
right. He's not switching up his voice, whereas Mike Myers is.
But also, they have released things under the Shrek IP that isn't voiced by Eddie Murphy, and I don't know about Mike Myers. I feel like
Uh-huh.
Mike Myers probably does most of the Shrek
I
voicing.
don't know.
But I know
For
there have
like
been
the
like
smaller things,
right. I
don't
know there have been like shorts and games and stuff where
Right.
Eddie Murphy hasn't voiced Donkey, and you can tell because it's like,
interesting.
oh, it's not Eddie Murphy.
Very interesting.
I feel like, and maybe this is why I don't know, I feel like people can do a decent Shrek. Because, like, Austin Powers. Because Mike Myers isn't really doing an authentic Scottish accent. It's a comedy accent.
Right,
And
right.
I feel like most people can do a shitty Scottish accent.
People can get that range if they like practice. it
Yeah,
for a
so I
minute
feel
or
like
two.
Shrek's probably easy to dub over.
Right. I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah.
Kind of like Lightning McQueen. Like, most people can probably do a fucking Owen Wilson, too. Like, Lightning
Yeah.
McQueen's probably an easy one to... Same with Mater, because that's just Larry the Cable Guy putting on a fake voice. So, like...
Well, and that's so crazy that again, that's Larry the Cable Guy's. That's not his real voice because
Yeah.
it's that accent, that southern drawl is so synonymous with him
Mhm.
in my mind. You know,
Well, it's like the first time you hear Santino speak, and it's not broken English because he's just a fucking
Yeah.
Canadian.
Yeah,
It's fucking wild.
Santino always blows my mind.
Every time I
Oh.
think about Santino, I'm just pondering for
Yeah,
hours
yeah.
after that, man. Really shatters my entire universe.
When did Shrek 4 come out?
I only remember Shrek the Third.
I only remember Shrek 1 was April 22nd, 2001.
Whoa, I
Shrek
didn't-
2 was 2006.
Shrek Forever After is Shrek 4, and it came out in 2010.
I didn't see this. It has the one that looks
I've
like
seen that
Shane
one.
Dawson.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one either, but
That one wasn't bad.
what? So there are interesting.
And Mike Myers is in that, right? He's still the voice of Shrek in this?
Yeah, I would assume.
Because I know Shrek the Third was the one with King Arthur, right?
King Arthur.
Yeah, isn't he in Shrek the Third?
You mean Prince Charming?
Prince Charming's always in him. King Arthur is
When he turned into the frog?
no, King Arthur is the plot point of Shrek the Third, right? He finds the kid, and they gotta do the whole sword thing.
Oh, I don't remember that movie that well. I think that you're right.
Yeah, Artie they call him, I'm sure, in that movie.
I think I remember that.
I'm pretty sure that's the plot of Shrek the Third, and then Fiona's dad dies, right?
The frog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he dies in Shrek the Third, and there's a frog funeral.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the Shrek franchise?
It's so good. I love the Shrek franchise.
I'm still of the theory that Shrek didn't have a name until he decided it. I still like that fan theory.
Yeah, that's good.
When,
Is
when
that
Donkey, well, yeah, in the first movie, Donkey asks his name,
Uh-huh.
and he unsurely goes, Shrek.
That's
Then
funny.
that's just how we've known Shrek.
He
I don't
just
think it's canonly
impromptu
his
came
name.
up with
Yeah.
Shrek.
Yeah.
That's funny. I like that.
There's a theory that so in the very first Shrek they talk about how there was a princess, but they're not referencing Fiona. That went to the tower first,
Mhm.
and the theory is that she was cursed with the same kind of situation where she turned into something else at night, and
Mhm.
the theory goes on to say that that princess is now the dragon.
I don't like that.
Mm.
I don't like that. I think it's a dumb theory.
I like it a
I
lot.
think it's a dumb
We
theory.
would see the dragon as in princess mode though at
Yeah.
some point, right?
No, there's a deeper fan theory that because nobody came to get her, that's her final form. And
Oh,
Yeah.
this is my final form.
well, and then
the,
Donkey,
the final boss.
and then Donkey falls in love with her in that form.
Yeah,
Yeah, that means that's just a person dating a donkey then.
Yeah,
dude, a donkey and a dragon bumping
They have
uglies.
they
babies.
have babies.
They
I remember
have
those babies.
babies.
You guys remember the McDonald's glass mugs from the Shrek movies?
I remember mugs. I remember cups.
Oh, I remember the mugs.
I remember drinking a lot of alcohol out of those mugs and cups.
I remember drinking a lot of alcohol watching Shrek in the theater.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
You gotta be plastered to watch Shrek.
Have you guys? Okay, you probably haven't. But the new Puss in Boots movie that came out like maybe a
Yeah,
year
I
ago.
saw
That's not
that.
the voice actor, right?
No, it's the same guy.
There is a Puss in Boots that's not the original voice actor.
I believe that because I think this is technically like the second Puss in Boots movie, the newest one that came out. I think it's technically the second one.
Okay. Yeah,
so
because
the
I
first-
watched a Puss in Boots movie back in like 2013 or something like that.
Yeah, no, this one just came out like a year ago. It's really good.
I don't have enough time to look up Puss. 216-859-8699.
You're listening to the Rebel Radio Show, legal in 47 states.
Uh, 216-859-8699 if you want to text in live, or if you're listening on a Rebel replay, on anytime during the week at 5 p.m. on WSRradio.com.
Yeah.
You can text that number. It works for all of our shows. It can send us funny memes.
Yeah.
Pictures of Shaq. Pictures of Shrek.
No.
Pictures of you smoking a Newport.
Yes.
216-859-8699. Next time Shane says no, I'm just going to give his personal number out. So let's talk about Superman instead.
Superman's filming in Cleveland, and I'm very excited about it.
Have you been down there?
Not yet, but I really want to go.
Not yet, but I'm immediately leaving to crash the set of Superman.
I'm going right now. No, I want to
I'm
go
recording
really
you
badly.
from the set.
It seems really cool, and like, I don't know, it looks very Metropolis-y, and they are taking big advantage of the Art Deco style buildings that Cleveland has to offer, and I love that. The Daily Planet globe looks super cool. It looks like, if you've seen Scarface, the globe that he has in his house that says "The world is yours." It looks like exactly like that. Very cool.
Now, I haven't read much about this Superman.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be an older Superman, right? Like, not current day.
I think
Yes.
it's supposed to be set, like
60s or something like that?
Yeah, a little bit back. And if it's not set in the 60s, that is the tone that they are going
Okay,
for, is
gotcha.
to look very like
Retro-futurist, 60s
well,
style.
not even retro-futurist, just like golden age
Okay.
Superman. You
Okay,
know what I mean? Golden
gotcha.
age of comics, and like
Gotcha.
it's a bird, it's a plane, you know.
Because I'm looking at the picture of...
Like he's gonna jump up and say up, up and away and fly.
Yeah,
You know?
I forget what building it is in downtown Cleveland, but they got the Daily Planet thing on it. Like you said, it looks very Art Deco.
Yeah.
And I know there's a law office in it, but I don't know exactly what the building is. But I'm looking at it, and it does have that like, big 60s city vibe.
Right.
But it fits very well, and I keep thinking, though, like, my Metropolis in my mind for some reason is like the 05-06 animated series when it's like skyscraper city and everything's
Yes.
glass and clean.
Yes.
So I'm like, it's-
gold and blue
yeah,
looking everywhere. Yeah.
So like it's different from this, but this works so well.
Right. I think that in my opinion, if they're gonna obviously in post production and stuff like that,
No,
they'll
they're
tweak
not. It's all raw. No CGI in this one.
they'll tweak the lighting and
He's
like
actually gonna fly.
the exposure and stuff like that. But this, in my opinion, is that to come to life. That 05 cartoon, like
Who
gold
the fuck
and
is
blue.
Superman?
His name is David Cornsweet.
What?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I've forgotten about David Cornsweet. He's my guy.
He's
I've never heard of this
I
man in
mean,
my
he
life.
looks like Superman.
Cornsweet.
Cornsweet.
Corenswet.
He looks like Superman. He's doing it, but he's not. He's no Henry Cavill.
And again, I know I've gone on record. I didn't like Henry Cavill when it was first announced
Mhm.
as Superman. I thought it was a weird variation. I didn't, for some reason, whatever the promo pictures they used for him, it was Man of Steel was the first one.
Yeah.
For some reason, he didn't look like Superman to me.
Mm.
Like it looked like his hair was all curly. He looked weird in it for some reason. I don't know if the perspective.
Right.
But no, he very much is like the clean cut carbon copy Superman.
Yeah.
But I think the 05 one was too, just not as big. You know.
Yeah.
Superman to me is a very easy role to cast. I'm not saying like there's a bunch of people that are good fits, but it's like
Right.
when it comes down to it, you know exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
He's
And
the
he
everyman.
looks like a guy, yeah.
He's
You
the
need-
everyman.
Jawline,
kinda just looks like a
dark
lawyer.
hair.
Right. He looks like a lawyer. He's got the jet black hair that's slicked back
Yeah.
and the one little curl, and he's buff, and that's
Bigger
pretty much it.
chin. He
Yeah.
always, Superman always has that like solid chin,
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah,
crimson chin type.
Oh, dude, I want a Crimson Chin movie so bad.
live
so
action
bad,
Crimson
yeah.
Chin. But I'm very excited, and like it's cool that we have so many movies, because this is the first big one that's been filmed here in a little while.
Yeah.
The
But-
last big one was the Avengers, right?
Well, it might have been
Was it Fast
one
and
of the more
Furious?
recent Avengers movies, is what
Oh.
or one of the more recent Marvel movies, like before 2012 Avengers.
Yeah.
I'm saying, or I mean after 2012
Well,
Avengers.
I'm just saying, like in terms of, it was a big thing for the city. Like this is going to happen
Yeah.
for this many weeks. This is
Yeah.
going to be closed down,
Probably
and a lot of the
Avengers.
filming is going to be here. Like Avengers, most of the city
Mhm.
scenes are Cleveland.
Probably Avengers, and like there was a Fast and Furious movie filmed in Cleveland.
There was one movie.
This is a
one-
little movie called The Home Alone. I don't know if you've seen it before.
There was a Liam Neeson movie that was filmed on 90.
I don't get the hype of Liam Neeson.
Yeah, he's not my favorite. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Qui-Gon Jinn, but
It's just Taken over and over and over again. That's all his roles are. He's just the guy from Taken over
Draft
and over
Day?
and
just
over
the
again.
guy from Taken.
Oh, I looked up
over
the
and
same
over again.
thing. Major
Draft
League,
Day?
obviously.
One of my high school teachers was a background actor in Draft Day.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3,
Spider-Man 3 was in Cleveland? Oh, that's
Mhm.
right, because
Yeah.
The Fate of the Furious. Yeah, Winter Soldier was
Howard the
filmed.
Duck.
Yeah.
There's a scene in the Winter Soldier that
My friend Dahmer.
Captain America like falls through the roof of the main center of the art museum, and so
Oh,
like,
really?
if you've ever been to the
Yeah.
Cleveland Art Museum, it's like a very accessible point that you can walk right through, and you can be like, oh yeah, Captain America fell like right here,
Now, with exception to Major League, because the whole thing's based in Cleveland.
right? Which is a great movie, by
yeah.
the way. Love Major League.
Love Charlie Sheen.
Yeah,
Howard the Duck might be the only like major film in these that is directly filmed in Cleveland and says it's Cleveland, other than Major League.
oh,
there's
does Howard the Duck say it's in Cleveland?
It
I don't
canonically
remember
takes
that.
place in Cleveland. Yeah,
I do not remember that.
I'm
believe
pretty sure even in the Howard the Duck comics, he's from Cleveland.
that would be funny. I would believe that. Oh, Cherry with Tom Holland
I
was
didn't
filmed
know.
in Cleveland. That's actually
How did none of these movies have Drew Carey in them?
I've heard that was a good movie. Bye Bye Man, the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man.
The Pee Pee Poo Poo Man.
It's filmed in Cleveland. Hell yeah. But yeah, Cleveland's it's interesting
Is
that
Fast
like
and Furious not on this list?
no, it is The Fate of the Furious.
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't
Fate of the
see it.
Furious.
2017.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like cheaper than Atlanta, so they use it.
Yeah, we're just a small city.
Beach
That's all it
here.
is. A small city that they can shoot with different angles to make it look a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And we're all cool with it. We love having them here.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Well,
because
it's-
our entire economy is based off the Browns. So I
Yeah.
mean, we don't have a lot of choices.
It's really cool though to like I work downtown next week and I'm probably going to drive past and like
I'm probably
hopefully
gonna drive through the scene.
hopefully I see some Metropolis stuff.
Dude, what if you saw Superman flying?
Oh my gosh. If I
I-
saw James Gunn
uh,
flying by,
My
Why
mom,
is James Gunn flying?
because he can.
That's
my
funny.
mom sent me a
Forgot
couple
about
of pictures of the beach that they had shut down and made it look like a military camp.
This is
It
Euclid
was
Yeah.
really
Beach.
cool. I think it's Euclid Beach. I'm not sure, but I think it's really cool that they shut it down and it actually looks like a military camp,
Yeah. You can see like all the little
like tents
green
and
green base camp hut things that they have.
I feel like it's not like we could probably just fucking go down there and get some interviews. I feel like it wouldn't be that hard, right?
I mean,
probably not.
probably not.
We'd have to
It
talk
would
to
probably
a couple people.
it would probably
first.
be hard, but we probably could. Is what my answer will be. It would probably be hard, but we probably could.
I feel like we could get in there.
I think that we could. Again, I think that it would be like we would have to really be annoying.
We
to
might have to
some
go a
people.
couple days in a row.
Listen, I don't think people understand how easy like media passes aren't real things. By the way, like I don't know if people know that.
Yeah.
Like there is no like actual documentation for a media pass. You just kind of get one or make one,
Right.
and then people take that as some form of identification. That's
Right.
all they are. Like I'm pretty sure we could just fucking show up down there with our passes and get someone. I'm not saying James Gunn, but like someone, fucking crane director, something.
Right.
I feel like it wouldn't be that hard. I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to walk down there, steal the Daily Planet thing, and walk out. You know,
I really want to steal the Daily Planet thing. It
I would
looks
love
so cool.
much to report on a crime while something is happening. Like they're filming a movie downtown and someone steals the props. That'd be
Dude.
so good.
It's just so cool. It's a big globe and it says the Daily Planet on it,
How does no crime happen in the city while this is happening?
and it's in my hometown.
I feel like this is where I'm committing crime if this is happening.
Is around here
Yeah,
in this area.
yeah.
Well,
I
because
feel like
everything is
it's
shut
heavily-
down. Yeah, it's heavily
People
guarded.
have to live around here, though.
No, this is a city area. This is. I don't
Have
think
you been
people-
to Cleveland?
I don't think people live necessarily right around these buildings.
I
Though.
feel like around every other corner there's an apartment in Cleveland.
I mean,
And there's people that live above shops and shit.
yeah,
Like, there's got to be someone that lives in this area or like right across the street from it.
sure.
I'd be committing crime in this area.
I
It's all shut
now
down.
you're
Probably
not
would
going to be
too.
let in.
yeah.
I'm not saying I'm going to. I'm just saying I would. Hypothetically. If this was
Theoretically.
Metropolis and I was a Superman villain. Okay?
We should just dress up as Superman villains.
Just dress up as Superman and go down there.
Yeah, I think we could make it in. I don't think it would be like. I think that
Are they
breast-
casting for background still, or that's
I
probably
don't know
over?
if they're still doing it.
But you could probably show up and be like, "Hey, I want to be an extra."
Yeah, I think you could.
Yeah. Again, I don't feel like it's that hard to be extras.
It's just one of those things where you're just kind of walking, and you happen to be walking close by the set, and then
Yeah.
you happen to be talking to.
But that's
this,
the thing
that,
is,
and
you
the
know,
third, and-
people are down there doing that. You know, people like every day since this started have been down there just walking,
Yeah,
not
waiting.
saying anything, not talking to anyone, just walking and hoping they're going to be in a shot.
Right, and like taking pictures of anything they can't. Yeah. I mean, it's cool, but it is interesting that it's so shut off from the public. I mean, and it makes sense because
I mean, it's a movie. They want everybody to see it when
Right.
it comes out.
right. Well, like it was interesting. I noticed in the pictures. So this morning, I saw pictures of David Cornsweet, the Superman guy,
I'm not going to be able to get over that.
and he was on
Henry Cavill is such a strong fucking name, and then we go to David Cornsweet.
David
is
Cornsweet.
Superman. I can't.
Yeah, that's so silly.
You change your name.
Yeah, change your freaking name.
Change your name to
silly.
like David Superman.
Yeah, yeah.
David Kent.
Yeah, David Kent.
But-
Clark Kent, for that matter. Just go full in, dude.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, he was wearing like a black robe almost to like cover the suit up. But then like 2 hours later, there were pictures of him in full suit. So like I'm assuming things progressed and like they realized as they were filming like
People
oh,
know.
Yeah, we're not gonna be able to hide this sort
Yeah.
of thing. So
Well, that's the thing is, I'm pretty sure it was pretty heavily publicized, at least in Cleveland, because they have to shut down the streets.
Yeah.
They're
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's been public that like, hey, these are the dates they're going to be filming Superman here.
get the fuck out of here. Yeah, yeah, probably.
That's how everyone in Cleveland sounds in downtown Cleveland. They all sound like '60s reporters.
Get the
Get
fuck
the fuck out of here. We're filming Superman.
Yeah,
If you've never been to Cleveland,
That's how everyone
that's
sounds.
yeah, that's just how we
Yeah.
sound. This is all an act, by the
we're
way.
always filming Superman.
They're always filming
It
Superman
was
downtown.
the birthplace.
It was. Which
The
elaborate
yeah,
on
that
that?
is true.
elaborate on that?
The original writer of the original Superman
Okay.
was they wrote it in like a basement in a house in Cleveland.
Okay.
and
Yeah, that
it's-
makes more sense.
It is now the Superman house.
Okay. Yeah, because that was been brought up, and I know we've talked about it before. But like, isn't Superman from Kansas canonically? Like, well,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
from Krypton, but
Yeah,
he falls
Clark
in
Kent's
Kansas,
yeah.
right?
yeah.
Okay. So like, I know we've talked about this before, but I always forget when people bring up the birthplace of Superman. I'm like, no, he's in Kansas. I'm
No,
pretty
that's
sure. Like, he
Kansas.
lifted a truck. There's the whole thing.
Yeah, he's from Kansas.
I'm like, I might not be completely brushed up on my Superman lore, but I think I know the basics.
yeah,
I
it's
think I can hit A, B, and C.
in 1933. It was Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster.
Schuster.
That's pretty cool. And so that's why James Gunn picked to film Superman in Cleveland.
Because it was made here.
Yeah,
Do you think it's going to be good?
I think it's
I
gonna
hope
be great.
so.
I think.
I have high hopes for
yeah,
it.
honestly, I think it's gonna be really great. I
Is
think
this
it's gonna be bright and colorful and like campy.
This is
you
going to
know?
be the first big DC release since Black Adam? Since Flash?
Since Flash.
Yeah, since Flash.
Have they released anything since Flash?
This is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, the first movie. It's not the first thing that they will release for
Okay.
the new like DCU,
Yeah.
but it's the first movie that will release for the DCU. So this is supposed to kick
This
off
is the
like
kickoff. This is the
everything,
start.
Okay.
right? And I think, fingers crossed, high hopes. I think it's going to be really campy and colorful and fun, and like how the Guardians of the Galaxy movies have a lot of
Yeah.
fun music in them, and they're really colorful and like just aesthetically pleasing.
Mhm.
I think that Superman is going to be like that, but tweaked to like golden age 60s,
Yeah.
comics.
Like you said, obviously there's going to be CGI and everything. The suit looks interesting.
The suit
Yeah.
looks like almost big on him in these pictures, and I've seen comments on Reddit of people saying like they made it so that he can move,
Right.
and then they're just going to CGI it to look.
well, not
like
even
he's
that, but
Superman.
like the seam work on it's odd to me. It's
It
got,
looks
like,
very future. It reminds
yeah.
me almost of Henry Cavill's suit
Yeah.
in like the futuristic design of it. I
Yeah.
thought that they were going to go more like
Blue
Old
spandex.
school.
homemade by
Yeah.
Ma Kent,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
There's Mr. Terrific is
Okay.
going to be in the movie. He's, I don't know, some kind of character. That's cool. I don't know. He's some kind of superhero. I think the movie is going to be like Superman shows up in a world full of B-list superheroes, and he's like
Oh,
an
really?
S-tier superhero. He like way overpowers.
That's for super.
Right,
Right.
but you know what I mean. Like he's gonna be like
Yeah.
a way overpowered superhero in this world of mid-grade superheroes,
I like that.
and so like
That's
people
fun.
like Mr. Terrific are gonna show up and be like, "I can save the day," and Superman's gonna be like, "I'm new here. What do I do?" And like punch someone and kill him.
And we don't have Shazam anymore. What the hell is his name? Mr. Marvel, Captain Marvel.
Captain
He's gone through 4 different names.
Levi. You're talking about
Yeah, the one that they teased the whole fucking thing with Black Adam and then
Chuck.
dropped everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No.
yeah, none of
He's
him.
out. His Black Adam's gone. He's
I'm
out.
saying if this is the way we're going and it is a period piece, which I hope it is, like super
Yeah.
60s campy, because I think that is how you make it. We've talked about this. That's how you separate yourself from the oversaturated superhero market. Make a
Right.
period piece and make it fun, make it light.
Right.
But I think that would be a way to go because you might have a different opinion. As big of a superhero as Superman is, the original superhero, right?
Mm-hmm.
His villains kind of fucking suck, other than Lex Luthor.
Did you see they had like even the older cop cars out
Not
there
Lex
at the
Luthor.
rubble?
Sorry.
So I think it will
Could you
be.
imagine if he fought Lex Luger?
Dude,
though?
I'd
That'd be
pay for
crazy.
that.
I think
On
it
the
will
Lex
be set in
Express?
like, the 60s or whatever because they had, or not the 60s, probably a little bit sooner because some of the clothing and some of the cars.
Yeah, it seems like it's either a period piece in the 60s or it's just various, like how Tarantino movies
Right.
aren't
Yeah.
period pieces,
They
but
just look like they're in the 80s.
right, they
Yeah.
look very aesthetically one way.
Yeah.
I think it will either be like that or it specifically be a period piece.
Yeah.
Because I do think it's supposed to deal with like young Superman and him, maybe like year 2 or 3 Superman, maybe.
What was it Green Lantern that was fucking, what's Mark Zuckerberg?
Wait, what?
Who's the guy that plays Mark Zuckerberg?
Oh, yeah, no, it was Lex.
Wasn't Mark Zuckerberg the bad guy before?
Yeah, no, you're talking about what's his name?
Not Michael Cera.
No, not Michael Cera, but the guy.
The next step up from Michael Cera.
Yeah, I forget his name.
name's not Andy Milonakis. He had that show. I don't know why that came to my mind either.
Don't bring up Andy Milonakis right now.
God, I'd love to see Superman versus Andy Milonakis. Finally, somebody that can match Superman's power.
Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah,
Mark
yeah.
Zuckerberg. They
Yeah.
sound similar too.
Jesse Eisenberg was
He
Lex
was Lex
Luthor.
Not Lex Luthor.
He was Lex Luthor. Yeah, he was Luger, Luthor,
I
whoever.
keep doing it, man.
Whoever he was.
He was. Why would they name him Lex? They had to do that on purpose. But he was supposed to be a good guy, so I don't know why they'd call him Lex Luger if it was a play on Lex Luthor. 'Cause
Andy
he's powerful.
Milonakis. Andy Milonakis was Lex Luger one time. It was crazy.
That was a crazy period in the Ruthless Aggression era where they tried to bring back Lex Luger.
Superman was there. Oh God.
Dude, listen, if they made, but how they made Lex Luthor,
Yes. Yes.
at Jesse Eisenberg's portrayal of him, which was hot shit.
Yeah.
Everyone hated it,
Sure.
but they made him like super weird brain guy at one
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I could see Andy Milonakis doing that. If he's playing the shitty Lex
Andy Milonakis, you can see doing that.
dude,
Yeah.
just
no,
don't call him a p-head,
Me too. Me too. I won't call him a p-head.
or else he'll kill Superman.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want Andy Milonakis to kill Superman. That would be terrible. In Cleveland,
Yeah, dude.
that'd be so bad.
Where's Andy Milonakis from?
Not Cleveland.
Are you sure?
I don't think so.
Where's Drew Carey from?
Cleveland?
So put him in the movie as
Okay.
fucking.
I wouldn't be surprised if Drew Carey has like a little schmamio.
If he's like the head of of I was gonna say the Daily Bugle, the Daily Planet.
That'd be funny.
Like Drew Carey just has a desk job in the Daily Planet. I'd love it.
Andy Milonakis is from New York.
Yeah, that makes more sense. He did do the whole fucking New York on the street thing.
What do you think about Superman with the trunks? What do you think What do we think about the trunks coming back to Superman? The red trunks.
I like the
I
trunks.
forgot they left. If I'm being honest, because I always just imagine Superman with the fucking red.
They took them away
Red
for a
underwear.
little while because they thought that they were too campy.
I mean, they are. It's a weird thing in general of
Right.
superheroes wearing underwear over their
Yeah.
clothes.
Yeah.
But that's just how I always picture Superman.
It looks good.
Even in the animated series, they took him away. He just had the blue pants.
Yeah. Why? Bring back the
Yeah.
and he's got the yellow belt. I
And
love
he's
it.
got the bulge.
Yeah.
Like,
the
they're really doing him right.
He is bulging. Like, that's crazy.
Dude, listen, if I was playing Superman, I'd be pretty bricked up
yeah,
too, all right?
Yeah, all the time. You have to.
Superman is canonically bricked.
They even have like the little
Kryptonite, in fact.
the gold emblem on the back of the cape, or the yellow emblem
Yeah.
on the back of the cape. That's
And
super good.
So that was my point with the suit having the weird embroidery on it,
Mhm.
like by the shoulders and stuff,
Mhm.
is because other than that, it is super like 60s Superman comic
Yeah,
accurate.
yeah. It looks like a mix of like a futuristic, hyper realistic alien Superman suit,
Right.
and then like a comic campy Superman suit.
Which again, all of what we're seeing as far as the stitch design and everything like that could just be for CGI purposes,
Right.
And it's gonna look super campy and 60s in the movie,
Right.
But just like the photos of it are weird, kind of like the Nicolas Cage Superman photos where it looks like an unfinished suit,
Yeah.
and they were just gonna kind of CGI over the rest in
Yeah.
with his super low cut collar.
That was a pretty low cut collar, Nick.
I'm just saying, Nick Cage. Since we've got Nick Cage Superman, that is the standard to beat. It's not Henry Cavill anymore.
Yeah, Nick Cage Superman with the long hair
Fighting spiders.
is Superman for me. That is my Superman.
We've talked about why they did that, right? Had him fighting the spiders.
Oh yeah, because that was in the original script for
Yeah.
his movie. He
Because
was
they
going to be
didn't. Because
fighting.
no one read Superman who worked on it.
They're like, fuck it, we'll just have him fight giant spiders, I guess. Those are pretty scary. That seems like something Superman would do. No thought. Nick Cage was like, yeah, that sounds great.
It's like, what if I had a Harley and I was on fire? Like,
No, that's
that's
like
the wrong movie.
It's like 3 years from now. Give it a minute.
Which I'll defend Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider was a great fucking movie.
Yeah, I bet Ghost Rider Nick Cage comes back in Deadpool.
I hope.
That's
man.
my early prediction.
That is Fox, right? Ghost Rider was a Fox thing.
I think.
Yeah.
Because Ghost Rider was bought out. It's not a Marvel thing. It was a Dark Horse comic that
Mhm.
Marvel bought out. So I think that was a Fox studio.
Well, it was because Marvel now owns the rights again
Right, right.
to Ghost Rider. So it was, yeah.
Which is fucking that whole. I know we've talked about this too. I keep saying that, but the whole rights to heroes and franchises
So
is such
crazy.
a weird fucking like.
so crazy.
If you have 5 hours to kill, just go down a rabbit hole on YouTube of rights being bought and sold and things like that. Because even between like the early days, especially are wild before we get Sony and Fox and all that.
Yeah.
The early days of like comics being
Yeah.
rights, because that's why we have Shazam in Marvel and DC, and they can't say Captain Marvel and they can say Mr. Marvel and. It's
There was-
Shazam, it's not Shazam. Like, he's traded back and forth, and it's fucking weird. And they almost bought out Superman at one point, and then they almost sold Spider-Man to DC, and then they sold him to Sony.
There was a side character for some mainline superhero that like through the process of this main character trading comic publications back
Yeah.
and forth, they were doing like an amalgamation comic of the two brands coming together, and in the background of one of the panels they have characters from one universe like sneaking the character into their comics.
That's
and
great.
then there on out that character was back in
That's awesome.
the main universe's run.
So
like
they had a canonical reason why he was in both comics.
right, well they like snuck him
Or
from
left,
one
yeah.
comic publication to another and like didn't tell publication A that they
Oh,
were
they
doing.
didn't tell him.
So they like stole quote unquote the character via the panels
That's
of
so
like
cool.
yeah.
Imagine if companies worked like that now.
Right.
We
well,
got it once with Sony and Spider-Man, and now they don't want to play ball anymore.
and I wouldn't be surprised if like I remember when James Gunn first became like the head production whatever of DC.
Yeah.
There were a lot of talks of like, oh, are they going to do a Marvel versus DC then?
Yeah.
Because James Gunn did the Guardians.
Guardians.
He did Guardians and now he's the head of DC. So like it'd be they're in talks, you know, or they know about each other. And like it seemed to be something where like, yeah, that would be cool, but let us
Let's have DC first.
yeah, let us fill out our vision first,
Yeah.
and then we can do a Marvel versus DC. So, like, it's not something like amalgamations like that on the big screen aren't off the board, you know?
I know I'm basing it all off two very niche franchises, but I'm not so much looking down the line to Marvel versus DC. I'd rather see the crossovers we've had in the past, where it's DC and Mortal Kombat. I'd like to see
That'd
that
be
on the big
cool.
screen.
That'd be really
like
cool.
Scorpion's just there.
Yeah.
I'd like to see fucking
They have a
Marvel and Capcom and Street Fighter.
They have a Mortal Kombat movie. I think they are working towards a Super Smash Bros. Movie, too. Because they're working on
Yeah.
a Legend of Zelda movie. They have the Mario
We have
movie.
Mario with Pikachu.
Yeah.
We
I
have
think-
Donkey Kong now.
I think they're working towards it.
I could see it for sure. And voiced by all the people that have voiced them in the movies, like Bowser as Jack Black.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stuff like
yeah.
that is cool to me. I
Yeah.
like that when they can world build and have it be successful in terms of like we enjoy concurrently seeing the movies and it's not like, oh, I have to watch this movie to
Right.
understand this movie, and when it's actually enjoyable for us,
Yeah.
that's when it's like, okay, this is cool. I like the world that they're building here.
Well, listen, if you want to know more about some niche characters in DCU and the MCU, you can always go to stylesrebelradio.com or WSRRradio.com. There's some articles up there about hidden gems in the DCU and superhero fatigue and if it's real or not. We've also talked about that on other shows like Off Air. Of course, you can catch Off Air, The Pigeonhole, Beyond Bounds, 50 episodes of the Sports Avenue podcast, and the Rebel podcast, all on stylesrebelradio.com. Or make sure you check out the schedule as well on WSRRadio.com for our live shows. Of course, we're live every Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern, right here on WSRR Radio. But the Rebel replays happen all throughout the week at 5 p.m. And there's new podcasts, the Rebel podcast, every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So make sure you check out the site for all of that information. You also get all the links to our social medias there, including the Discord server where you can chat with us about superheroes or cryptids or conspiracies or liminal spaces, or you can argue about food like we did today for an hour.
Yeah, buddy.
So that's all there. The Discord server, you can get there at WSRRradio.com. Remember to listen live on the Live 365 app as well. Tune in weeknights, 10 p.m. for True Vault Escapades. It's the radio drama based in the Fallout universe. And, of course, for all of our programming, shows, events, updates, and more, WSRRradio.com. Until next time, I've been Radio's Rebel DJ Style. To my right, Shaney.
Bye, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Bye.
Peace.